on this end? Like, does it sound
Yeah,
better?
you sound perfect.
Oh, good,
I'm actually when you get it live, I need to
It's
get the link. There's a few people who are waiting to watch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's live.
All right, give me 1 second.
And I sent you the link and Facebook.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, yeah, the sound quality should be better this time. I've got headphones now too, so you all should be able to hear me better. But we started talking before we went live. We were talking about because for some reason the market bell rang on my end, and I said, well, I didn't launch an ETF. I'm not sure why that happened, but we all know someone who did launch an ETF. Well, we don't know him personally, but it's been the big story. The Meet Kevin ETF.
Yeah, I've only heard the news about it, but not personally checked it out.
He got a lot of coverage. I mean, that was incredible. He actually rang the closing bell on the NASDAQ Friday.
Dang. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm going into your channel to get the link.
Oh, the one doesn't work? The one I sent you?
I don't see it anywhere. I only see the link for the. Here you go. I got it anyways.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to share because this is publicly traded now, so you can actually look at the performance of it. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
It's called Title ETF Trust 2, the Meet Kevin Pricing Power ETF, ticker symbol PP. Very, very carefully selected ticker symbol there by him. So it was down 7 cents today. It's up in the after hours. It's only got the interesting thing that I noticed before it went public, you see how there was a run up in it. So it went public, Friday, December 9th. So there was a run up in it like the week before, I guess, when it was only open to pre-public shareholders, I guess. So that's kind of interesting. I guess they got a pre-IPO bounce.
That's pretty interesting. Like I've gotten on pre-IPO bounce. Pre-IPOs. If you go to microventures.com, Microventures allows you to buy into stocks that go prior. Stocks or ETFs or any type of fund prior to it goes live. So I have a small portfolio of buying into all these IPOs prior for them going live.
Oh, okay. You have to create a free account.
Yeah, you can take you don't need to make an account to check out their stuff.
It's venture capital.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Like you get 20% off, 30% off at times. Like it's really nice.
Oh, cool. And you can raise capital too.
Yeah, I got part of this what's it called? Vegan fast food restaurant in California.
Oh, really? That's the perfect state for that.
I would say I got burned on movies. So I tell you, if you're going to do venture capital or raise capital for upcoming movies, every movie that I have ever gotten part of, I have been burned on. Even if I think it's going to be really good, personally, because I wanted to watch it, I've lost money on those.
You mean you invested in a movie production before it went to the big screen?
Oh, yeah.
Really? That's interesting. You should talk about that some.
I got into the Three Little Stooges. I'm old, so I'm just like...
I'll pull that up, actually.
Yeah, it did bad.
IMDb.com.
Yeah, really, really bad. Three Little Stooges. I also got into this... let me just log in.
Oh, is it? It's a remake of an older movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I liked it a lot, but
oh yeah,
the new one that came out was
it the 2012 one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Three Little Stooges. I did a comedy movie. Actually, let me just log in to get into it.
This is good. Some of the audience is actually big movie buffs. Actually, my brother's a big movie buff.
Oh yeah, some movies I actually like. Like my favorite type of movies is Western movies. I love Westerns.
Do you watch the show Yellowstone?
No.
That's kind of in that theme.
Like the only thing I've been watching lately is just zombies. But
oh yeah.
Just the watch while programming.
No, the show Yellowstone is like a Western. It's in the form of a TV show. It's one of the best shows out there right now.
Is this on Netflix?
No, it's on Paramount. It's with Kevin Costner and Yeah, you'll get into it if you watch it. It's really good, really well done. You can see the rating on IMDb, 8.7 out of 10.
I'll try this out.
Yeah, it's on season 5, I think.
So I do like classical older movies, especially when there's a remake and they said they're gonna keep to the. What I dislike is when they say they're gonna create a remake of a movie, but it's completely off the basis of the original movie.
Yeah.
Come on, guys! Like
Hollywood's all about remakes.
Yeah, like a good example, Matrix, the new Matrix that came out.
I saw that.
5 minutes in. Nope.
It was Keanu Reeves looking like John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick is a good. John Wick 1 was very good. John Wick 2 was pretty good. 3 was like, you're doing too much. You shouldn't be walking. You shouldn't.
Right. Yeah. It's funny because I bought into Disney stock when they bought Star Wars, because I was thinking that when they acquired Lucasfilm, that it was really going to take off, and it did for the first year or so. And it's funny because I've been meaning to do a Disney video for a long time, because they're so a lot of their services are very overpriced and whatnot, especially like the parks and stuff. But see on the screen here, so they Star Wars was acquired in 2012, but they didn't put out the first movie until like 2015, and they rushed those movies. I mean, I think they did better internationally than they did domestically, but you can see the stock started to run up once they acquired Lucasfilm, and then when the first movie came out, you can see there wasn't as much of a bounce as people thought. So like within 4 years, there was barely like a $5 increase. But when the pandemic started, the stock actually crashed from 144 to like 90 something. And then it went up. It had almost doubled from where it was, and then it's crashed down since. Of course,
when it comes to
their
PE ratio is way too high. 53.
Oh yeah, most companies are like that though. It's the way this market has been.
I mean, I just tell people it's just all the Fed and their influence.
Paper money. One of the cheapest PEs, interestingly, is Meta. It's like 10.76.
Yeah, since I think how much have they been crashing?
Way down. They were almost, before all this started, they were at 331. A year ago, they were at 352, actually. Their 52-week range. 353 was the highest.
It's actually interesting. Like, when it comes to a lot of these companies, a lot of people would buy into them. But like, for me, I don't support like Disney at all. Like their whole woke agenda.
They say go woke, go broke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't buy their stock. I won't pay. I mean, if I'm forced to because of family, but typically certain stocks I want nothing to do with, like cigarette stocks.
Yeah. There's still a tobacco company, Philip Morris, that pays a good dividend, but they're into other stuff, not just like tobacco. They do like the chocolate and stuff like that. They like the Toblerones. They do those.
Why can't I log? I'm trying to log in right now, but it just gives me a loading screen. What are you? Okay. Oh, my microventures portfolio.
Oh yeah. Log into that and then take over the screen share.
A second. Bad. Oh, I gotta get off Vivaldi. Oh, this is something. I'm on Vivaldi. I need to go to Chrome.
Oh, Chrome instead of whatever browser you're using.
Yeah, I usually use Chrome that much. I like Vivaldi the most.
I think you mentioned that last time. It's called Uvaldi. What? Vivaldi. Right?
Yeah, Vivaldi.
Really
good, really good browser. Very customizable, especially if you're a programmer like me.
Right.
Now it's just loading, but when it comes to these companies, like I like that because I think we talked about like on our checklist about all these companies are pretty much heading into. I would say they're going to need the Fed to step in eventually, or they're going to be crashing even more.
Oh, for sure, and they'll take the economy with them.
Yeah, I mean, what I would tell people like now, we're in extremely dangerous position.
Mhm.
Very, very dangerous position. Like I know we're already in a recession. Like you can't have these fake job numbers come out and
By definition, yeah. I mean, we had two negative GDP, two consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. That's a recession. But I've debated this with a lot of different people, even more educated than me, and the consensus that I've got is that, yeah, like by definition it is, but the job market hasn't totally tanked where people are unemployed and like losing their house, and stuff like that.
So I would say, in like a rebuttal to that answer, would be like
Uh-huh.
this: the reason why they're not losing their houses is because, one, the government stepped in.
Right.
This if any third party, any group has to step in, this doesn't show promise to the economy. It does even worse.
How long can it go on too?
Well, technically, it can go on forever, but the dollar will purchase even less. It'll be basically they'll kill the dollar faster.
As long as the fiat currency, the US dollar, has a perception of value.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if they keep doing this, like because I have a couple of friends who own a house in Vegas, like rental properties. During the pandemic, these individuals weren't getting paid their rent, which is understandable because they shut down the economy.
But then the government did like the PPP loans and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is interesting how I say that money was allocated very interestingly. They print what is it? They print off billions, and individuals get $1,000 checks, and companies get millions.
Well, and the way they define small business, like so many people were getting the money, like a lot of these big groups, these big bands and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how you feel about that, but a lot of people like to go to concerts and stuff like that. But these big bands, like a good example is U2, the band U2. Like, they had like a record year in 2019, but obviously, like all bands, they couldn't tour in 2020 because of the pandemic. So then they got money from the government. They got like PPP loans, and to me that I don't even want to listen to their music again after that because it infuriated me because it's like you had a record year. And to me that's the problem with society. Like you have people at the very top that are insanely rich. They'll never spend all their money, and they do stuff like that. And it's like you just had a record year. Can't you sit on your profits for a year? Would it kill you?
But that would be adding some type of like moral basis. Like these people, I'm not saying all of these people, but I would say almost all of Congress, all of our voted politicians that we put it there, they have a moral compass that's only focused to themselves, and they're only paying interest groups.
Well, and it's almost like in the same, because we're going to get into this too about, we're going to talk about, grifters and scammers again, and we're going to get into most recently arrested Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX. But, getting towards that, whether it's like big rock groups, big singers, bands, or influencers on social media, like a lot of these people, they don't give a crap about their fans. Like they're laughing at the people that spend thousands of dollars to see them. And that's the issue. That's the issue I have. Like they don't give a crap about someone like me or you or any of their fans.
And I mean, it's just you can tell in their actions. Like, you can see like the growth of individual. Like if you see their YouTube channel and they talk about, like for example, Meet Kevin. He didn't have all the $1,000. I watched him when he first started. Like you can see some of my comments on his videos.
I know he started like anyone, like a regular person. Yeah.
All his videos were really good. I like his real estate stuff. I am not a real estate guy. I'm a markets guy, trading guy. But I like listening to different perspectives. And his channel and his website didn't have all the salesman stuff / every 10 seconds is a course. And today, course, sell. Nothing wrong with that, sure. Maybe there is some value into it, but you see the perspective isn't about helping anymore, in my opinion. It's about just making as much money as they possibly can off their audience.
Right. Ugh. It was funny. There was a video I watched that, like it was amusing how much Kevin's fans are that much enthralled with him. Like there was this kind of middle-aged couple that went to the New York Stock Exchange just to see him, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, my wife and I, before we got married, we watched Kevin's videos to make sure we were on the same page about money." And I was like, "Wow, that does the guy's head need to get any bigger?" You know?
I mean, I would say, and this is
I think this was the video. This was the video. I'm gonna play it. This was the video, but keep talking.
The problem with like just stick it to YouTubers or just icons or celebrities. A lot of people, just to be a very general statement, they don't have much value in their own lives, so they have to place more time and value on other people's lives that they emulate or watch.
Right.
And then they base it that individual is their friend, or they know them, or they have some connection emotionally to them. And this,
yes,
it's kind of like the Kardashians. How you have people follow them religiously, like they don't care about you, like they're just.
It was funny. I watched this girl here. She traveled like from Boston to witness the spectacle. This is another YouTuber here. I'll turn it up a little bit.
People work here their whole lives in the city and never go into that building and step foot on that floor. It was a once in a lifetime experience.
She's talking about how people in the city never go into the stock exchange building, but like she got to that day because of him. But there's the one I want to show you, or that I want the audience to see, is here it is. It's this couple that it's just funny. Not this one. Here you go.
We want to be here and support Kevin since he's been a great source of inspiration and influence on finances and a lot of our goals in our married life.
As a couple, how important do you think it is to be aligned on financial goals?
It's so important. It keeps everyone on the same page, and it makes everything run so much more smoothly.
One thing that we did is we, as a couple, sat down and watched Kevin's courses, just because, again, I wanted her to be in line with my goals are, short-term and long-term.
I just found that funny because it's like, wow, before they got on the same page about finances, they had to watch his courses to do it. You know?
I mean, that's like the perfect. I mean, sure, but I was something like, meet Kevin to me is not like when I watch other YouTubers talk about, and even what I would conclude about him, he's not a person I would follow financially. Maybe if I do like a time date and be like, hey, 1-2 years ago I would follow, but now I don't see any point because these individuals don't focus on that.
You know, the strategy that other YouTubers are using though, like they attack him, they make fun of him, and then they get him to come onto their channel. And then he comes onto their channel and their opinion completely changes.
Yeah. I know you're talking about one of the Echoes guy you were telling me about that. He said the same thing. Like
you reached out to him, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't. You found him on your own. I didn't tell you about him.
Yeah, I found him on there because I was typing in the whole FTX scam thing, and a lot of the YouTubers came up talking about how everyone's trying to, there are all these grifters coming out. And I'm like, okay, I saw his channel. He talked about Spencer Cornelia, and he also talked about Meet Kevin. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me Instagram. So I hit him on Instagram. Say, hey, when we jump in the live stream, we can talk about this stuff too. And
then he ghosted you, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it was kind of an odd coincidence because I had commented on his channel before because I found him because he went on another channel I was watching, and so I subscribed to him. And then you know how people post those community updates. So I had commented. He asked Jeremy from Financial Education. He says, "What's the song that Jeremy uses?" And I happened to know it, so I commented with the song. And he thanked me. He's like, "Oh, that's awesome. I couldn't find this. You helped me do it." And then he was all nice and stuff. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, you're welcome." And then like an hour later, the thread was deleted. So I don't know. Someone from his camp or whatever must not like me, and they got to him because, like I said, he was all nice at first. Then he basically ghosted me too.
I would say like how to say. I watch a lot of videos to see how the individual thinks, and when I go through it, when he claims, and I've seen this multiple times, it's not like by accident, He says that individuals are evil, like Meet Kevin. They are.
But he's had him on his channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to interview him, and I walked into that interview like just with the open mind, and you know what I understand a lot more of Meet Kevin's point of view. When you have a massive channel, anything you do, good or bad, all these people will pick it apart. You can't get away with anything.
It's funny. I watched that whole interview too, and I commented, and I thought Meet Kevin got the best of that, and he's such a good like politician that he can win people over. Because even though there was a lot of stuff he didn't answer, but he's just skilled at, you know, coming up with answers. I don't know, getting around a question, answering it without answering it. That like I thought he won that debate.
Yeah, I would agree too in that.
Yeah,
I do wish one question that Meet Kevin would ask the Echoes guy would be like, listen, why do you focus so much of your time and energy on other people? Is your channel the hatred of others? Because you do say hate, and not to say like hate speech, but it's the downplay of others.
Is it? They call it clout chasing. Like you get views, you get subscribers by talking about other channels.
Yeah, and then when I start going through the YouTube, you know, I think most YouTubers look at other YouTuber stuff just to get ideas and talk about stuff. When I go in there and I watch the videos, it's just like hate. Talk about this, and I'm like, your entire channel has like 50 videos, and 50% of your videos is downplaying someone else.
Well, and the thing is, they're gonna hurt themselves, because if you're a finance channel, you're not going to get the CPM that you want. You know, you're not going to get that high CPM because you're not really a finance channel. You're just talking about other finance YouTubers. So your RPM might end up being like $5, you know, per 1,000 views.
I mean, it's possible that they're just going for the audience and then to grow and then revert back. But like, I go on other people's channels and like just go through what did this individual talk about. Like their goal is to talk about stocks, crypto, finance. He should add drama to that too.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought about adding a category to my channel. Like I talk about like the 7 pillars or whatever. I mean, I like the number 7, but you know, I should add an 8th pillar and talk about like not so much drama, but actually, because my channel, I call myself financial coaching. Part of helping people financially is helping them understand what's a good source and not so good source of information. So that would be like the 8th pillar.
Yeah, that's be really good because I mean, I don't know, my channel is everything. I talk about finance, politics, trading, programming. Like it's basically anything that I like to do and show it displayed on there. So
right,
kind of fit in politics and finance. So I think if you're in finance, you have to know politics. It drives so much of the
markets, politics, they go hand in hand.
Let me see, where's that? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'm on his channel, and I go through every single video.
Take the screen, take the screen share.
Oh yeah. And for the audience, guys, this is something I had a conversation with one of my clients that I have for making an EA. Let me see, how do I share this?
Tell them what an EA is and all that.
An expert advisor. We were talking about other Forex traders, and he was saying like, hey, are these traders legit or not? And I told him the same thing. If you're watching a YouTube channel and it's about trading, and 10 minutes of the video is them about cars, girls, tattoos, jewelry, money, and then 1 minute of trading, you know what their focus is. They're
that's what gets attention. Yeah.
They need watch time, and they're getting paid from the views.
Right.
Here you go, screen share. God, I got so many screens open.
But the conundrum of it is that you're not going to get the serious viewers that are like, if you talk about options trading or you talk about Forex trading, those serious viewers are the ones that are going to probably, they may be more likely to buy something that one of the ads that comes in for the finance niche, that one of those ads, I don't want to like promote other people's channels on here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can, but I mean, I don't know. He's not going to talk to us.
I just tell people like look at the percentage of like what people are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So as someone claims to be, I just say he's not a good or a bad person. I don't judge them right now. I just tell them. Look at the content.
To be clear, I mean, I think he's a nice guy, but I don't know. Someone in his camp doesn't like me. That's the sense I get. Yeah.
Possibly. I mean, I say when I've tried to talk to other YouTubers to, you're one of the only people that I've talked to that will continuously do some type of collaboration.
Yeah.
Because you can't get to the top alone.
Right.
Not possible. I mean,
I always said to myself, like, if no one wants to help me, I mean, I'll do this alone if I had to. Like I'm kind of that driven. But like another channel, like there's this, because I talk a lot of dividend stuff, so I'm getting a lot of the dividend channels in the finance niche that I'm sharing viewers with. And there's this one channel, and he's not gonna, he'll probably delete the thread just like Echoes did, but he said, I want to do collabs, and I responded to it. I was like one of only 2 that responded. I said, yeah, I'm open for one, but he's at almost 11,000 subscribers, and I'm at 1250 almost. So he's not going to gain anything from talking to me. Small fish, I guess.
It's actually very interesting. I'll say when we hit 10K, for example.
Oh, when? Yeah. Let me put it this way. And you too. Like we're in this till we get to like 100. 500,000. Like I'll be doing this, like I said in the video before, I'll do this for the next 10, 15, 20 years. That's the plan. Yeah.
And it's interesting because just going back, like I remember having like 100 subscribers and people were like, it's so hard to get subscribers. And I'm like, just keep going. Just keep going.
Actually, a year ago at this time, I just cracked 100.
Let's see. Where am I?
And what started, because it was hard, those first few months, it was hard to even get views. But like I said, when I joined some of the Facebook groups and stuff and some of the Reddit groups, and I would mention that, oh, I just did a video on this, I would pick up followers from there.
Well, I think it took me a long time to grow, but it's just how it is, I think. Because I would say
When did you start? When did you start?
My first video?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see. I'm on my channel right now.
Because what I notice, because when I look at other channels, like I'll see their channel's like 10 years old, but they didn't upload a video until like last year.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, YouTube doesn't let you do that anymore. Like go from old to young. They only go from popular to unpopular.
Oh, you can. It depends on what device you're on.
Oh, let me try on Google.
Like,
because my first video, like, I remember my first video, I talked about like, hey, my journey on YouTube is to talk about finance, talk about investing, and just show honesty in it as I go.
I'll pull your channel up.
But I already know most of my videos do not do good for YouTube because I do say plandemic and scandemic too often.
I know. Every time you say that, I say we're gonna get demonetized.
It's always the same thing. Like you tell the truth about what's happening, and don't be afraid to talk about certain topics. So that's why I got banned from Instagram. I lost like 7,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh, you got banned from Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook. I lost because they said I was promoting hate speech. But when I repealed it, I told them that I was reading from the website of the government website. It's reading their statistics.
Oh, that's when they just, like Elon Musk has exposed. They just used any like BS reason to ban anyone.
Yeah. And
See, here's what happened. So I'm on your channel. So you told, who was it, Echoes? Like he said, I'll look at your channel. Once he saw this clown, he said, I'm not gonna talk to this guy.
See, I tell like people, like when you start doing YouTube, you start knowing what works or not. Yeah. If I make a video that I really, really like, so you see that massive fraud and corruption, I talk about everything that is actually happening as fraud.
Yeah. I have to ask, who did this thumbnail for you?
I paid this dude to do it. His name is...
Because they picked the most random picture.
Fiverr.
On Fiverr. It reminds me of one, because I've had some thumbnails I didn't use. It's similar. It just cracked me up when I saw it, because I was like, really? They picked that was on a short video, that picture that they picked.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I asked them, go through your channel, can you grab a good picture from it? But I just feel like
That's funny.
Like if my intention was to garner a whole bunch of views, my goal, I would just bash other people.
Right.
Like I even done experiments. If you go back to the home page, just go to home.
Yeah.
And go to popular videos.
Oh yeah, I was
every popular video I've ever done is because I intentionally saw what was happening and just made a video about it. Kind of like this FTX stuff. Like if I just talk about that subject, then I'll get a whole bunch of views.
Is this your most popular one? This 5 books to read, and then 7 passive income ideas.
Sounds like a Meet Kevin / Graham Stephan video.
And there's this other YouTuber he's got over 1 million, Nate O'Brien. He doesn't post all the time, but he does videos like this, and his editing isn't even that great. But he gets like millions of views.
Wow, that would be.
He was at Kevin's thing too. Yeah, this channel here, this guy. Like I don't know what the secret is.
I mean, I would say the YouTube algorithm, but
see
I
this
don't know
channel
at this point.
Like he does these like 5 books to read, market for beginners, stuff like that. See 3.5 million views, 3.4 million. And it's like basic stuff. There's not a lot of like editing and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm a minimal. He does really good on the YouTube algorithm. He doesn't I'm not saying he doesn't say anything important or unimportant, but I find it very concerning, and just as an adult, maybe it's just because I'm older now, is that when I see people talk about markets investing, and they just, for example, me and you, everyone lived through the pandemic, right? There is no way that you can talk about finance and not mention Dr. Fauci, Democrats, Republicans manipulating markets. It's impossible. You can't go through that, and you couldn't go through that period without talking about the markets because of them.
You mean Fauci's not just a brilliant doctor?
Well, I mean, if you watch his, if you read his recordings under him being questioned under oath, you see that he speaks a very different truth than he did on camera. He's
the highest paid government employee. I did a video on that too, a video about it had Pelosi's face, like, the insider trading. And he was like the highest paid government employee. And there was that viral moment. Some senator asked him like what his net worth was. And he says, this guy's a moron.
I would say this, it's very obvious why I call our government the syndicate. Our entire government is a syndicate.
Yeah.
One, they don't go to jail. They don't go to prison. They don't get in trouble for what they do.
Nothing happens to them. Yeah. Like this guy, Sam Bankman-Fried, who we're going to talk about, like nothing's going to happen to him because of who he donated to. I'm surprised he even got arrested.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he'll get a slap on the wrist and then he get pardoned.
Was it actually our Justice Department that arrested him, or they're going to extradite him back? Like I saw it was in the Bahamas. He got arrested. He was hiding out. Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like what happened to Sam to him is very. It makes so much sense.
This video here, the one with Pelosi's face.
Yeah.
That's the one I talked about Fauci. Yeah. Some of my older thumbnails are kind of embarrassing. That's probably why some of these other YouTubers are like, I'm not talking to this clown.
I mean, dude, I have like 670 videos. I feel you on those bad thumbnails.
Well, some of them I was trying to be funny, but not everyone has the same sense of humor. Like there's one, I'm in like a green shirt or something, and that one lost me the most subscribers. That one I could post it and then in like 5 minutes, lost subscriber. Yeah.
But it's very interesting. If you look at if you guys have time, audience, look up any politician, any person who was voted into a position in our government, look at their net worth prior, and then look at their net worth during, and then years to come. Just straight up.
Yeah, and anyone, and this happens to most of them, except I think Trump was actually one of the only people that left office with less net worth than he came in with. Like, it's very rare. Most politicians leave office with more net worth, way more net worth.
And I would say President Trump is a very interesting president. I'm not a fan of any of the presidents. I mean, none of them. But
Yeah.
he would be the only president that I would give a C. Every other president since like JFK would get an F or a D.
Yeah, I agree.
Trump is, he's a lot better than Biden.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I was doing, the Bloomberg Terminal.
Mhm.
I was actually doing some Bloomberg Terminal training that was part of my finance program, and I was actually studying some currencies and stuff like that, currency functions that they have. It's called the Bloomberg Market Certification, and they have all this data in Bloomberg. I mean, it's cutting edge. I would never pay the $20,000 a year you have to have a terminal, but. It's I'm not a fan of the man himself, Mr. Bloomberg. Like you see his net worth like 70 billion, and he's made it like screwing so many people and stuff. But the point is, I was looking at like the trade deficit, because remember Trump's whole thing was like the trade war and whatnot. And it actually, the last 2 years of his presidency, the trade deficit went down. So China has been our number one like trade partner, and like we have a consistent trade deficit with them. So say we export like 140 billion and exports to them, but we import like 500 billion. So there's a trade deficit of almost 360 billion. And if you do the math over a 10-year period, that's like $3.6 trillion. So that could be like 10% of our national debt from a trade imbalance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say when it comes to, oh man, this is like, I hope you guys don't think conspiracy, but like when it comes to China and America, I think they're on when it comes to the TV, they are not friends. But when it comes to politicians, they're the best friends.
Yeah.
Because like you don't have these type of imbalances without, it's like you just said something very clear, very to the point. We have a trade imbalance for many, many years. But no politician, Democrat or Republican, have solved this problem. Either they want the problem to continue because they benefit off of it, or they're ignorant. Which one will be more?
They don't want it. They don't want it solved.
Correct. That's exactly what I feel. They don't want it to be solved because China benefits from it, and the politicians / certain companies benefit from it too.
It's funny. You can see how rigged the internet is. Oh, oops! Did I just say that? We're live, aren't we? Because I'm sharing here, and I googled politician net worth coming into Google. God, I have to be careful because Google's the parent company, but every article is about how Trump getting richer, and we know he left office with less. He lost so much money from his businesses and whatnot. But anyway, let's see if we scroll past like the first page, maybe we'll get some actual. Because like look at like Pelosi, or like even like Rick Scott from Florida. Like look at how much. Here you go. Current members of Congress by wealth. Rick Scott's the richest one, and then Mark Warner from Virginia, 260 million. Rick Scott. Now Trump was probably the richest president to ever hold office because he was worth like $4 billion or something like that at one time. But I think if I'm not mistaken, it's I don't want to talk too much about Trump, but I think his business was let me see here. Trump net worth $3.2 billion. So yeah, when he had come into office, he was worth like $4.5 billion or something. So he lost like over $1 billion while he was president.
To be honest with you, it'd be interesting to if you were to say you're a multi-billionaire, do you even notice $1 billion gone in net worth, or is it just paper?
It would be like if for us, if you're worth like $500,000 and you lose like 125,000.
Probably wouldn't be like.
Yeah.
But this is actually interesting. You bring up all these. So just say if we take these as fact, to say these individuals are worth this amount, I would say if we can go back, roll the time back from when they first entered that position, what were they worth?
Right. That's what I was trying to find, but Google only wanted to give me certain things.
This blows my mind because when I watch these individuals on TV talk about we must tax the rich, and they're like, you're rich yourself. You're not going to tax yourself. It doesn't exist. Like it
exactly.
Just,
well, they find ways around it.
Oh, if I was a corrupt politician, why? And I'm passing phone books why wouldn't I make a tax deduction or loophole for myself in that giant phone book that the president's just going to stamp, not read?
Right. This is kind of close to what we were talking about, but I think it's outdated. Here's like a 73,000% increase in net worth. I've never heard of this person, Shelley Pingree. Never heard of this person. This guy is from Florida. He ran in a Senate race. I know of him.
Look at that, Trey Gowdy. He's one of my favorite senators. I love watching him.
Yeah, he left Congress. Yeah.
And now he works for who? Fox News.
He's on Fox. Yeah.
Yeah.
So his net worth. Wait, this has to be. Is this in millions? Wait a second. Increase in average net worth in dollars, because 178,000. That's not that much.
Yeah, but it's a 278% increase. That is insane. That beats everybody in markets.
He could have done that. I mean, with the congressional salary, he could have just saved half of his salary. Hint, hint, audience. He could have just saved half of his salary, and in 2 years, he could have had that. You know. I say that because I always tell my audience, save half of your salary if you can. You know.
Hopefully, I mean,
yeah.
I usually spend almost everything. It's on assets.
Really? But you're a business owner, so you kind of like write everything off anyway, right? Like, it's different when you're like running a business, right?
Yeah. When you for the audience in this part way, if you have you have an income, you have 3 ways to spend it: debt, investments, and personal spending. Try to focus on investments as much as possible, so you can pay down your debt with dividend payments, or pay down
anything tangible, anything that increases in value.
Stay away from courses, but
yeah.
but
unless you buy my course. Wait, I don't have one yet.
Yeah, I mean, not all courses are bad. Just I would be aware of Forex courses.
Yeah, I haven't looked into any of those, but I will say my international finance class was really valuable. It taught a lot of this stuff. The only thing is, the first time I heard it, I don't remember it. I'd have to like take it again.
International finance class. That would be interesting to take. Is like, I have taken some college. I have no degrees at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
0.
But your practical experience like outweighs a lot of the classroom
stuff
education.
Like a lot of stuff that people even say, I will study it, write it down. Like even now in this conversation, every time I don't know something or haven't like knowledge about it, I literally write it down on this note card and I re-research it and then understanding more. Like the stocks you brought up, I haven't looked at those in years, like such a long time.
Because you do mostly international stuff.
Yeah, when it comes to stocks now, I sold all my stocks. Give me a second. Even my Robinhood's at 0 balance now.
Oh wow.
I sold everything. All stocks sold. Ooh.
Oh, we lost all our live viewers.
That's all right.
We'll get them back, hopefully. You know what I was gonna say? I was gonna. I don't mind opening it up. Like anyone that wants to come on, like in the audience, like I'll open it up. Anyone disagrees with me on something. The funny thing, like in my comments, a lot of times when someone disagrees with me and I respond to them, I explain further where I'm coming from. Then they understand, unless they're just a troll.
Trolls.
The most hate comments that I ever got, it was on an Amex video, and I'll be perfectly honest, I think Amex is one of the most unethical companies there is. Because I do the credit card churning. They screwed me out of not 1 but 2 offers, and they have so much. It's like some of these influencers. They have such a cult following. These people are like, "How dare you bash Amex?" I'm like, well, they suck. You know, they cheated me out of an offer. Like I had the Hilton Honors card, and then they gave me no reason why I didn't get it. They let me spend the money. So like I wrote a letter. I mean, nothing's going to happen, but I did a video bashing them basically. And so I found this channel. There's this channel, Luke's Points and Miles. And I commented because he must be an Amex shill. And I would even tell him, come on and prove me wrong. But everything he talks about, it's like how great Amex is. So I commented on his channel, and He was fairly stand up. I mean, he didn't delete the comment, but he responded, "I've never heard of that happening." And I'm like, "Oh, come
Mm,
on!" Like, you start talking to other people, this happens. They do this kind of stuff, you know.
interesting. I mean, when it comes to credit cards, like how to say, I am not the best with credit cards,
Mhm.
but I do use one thing. Credit cards. I love using the free gas points. God,
Yeah.
oh my god, I don't understand how people just skip on those. Like, my gas budget has nearly doubled this year.
Oh
I
wow.
spend, yeah, my budget was like $180 back with Trump, and now I spend near 400.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah, that's right. Because you're like in Vegas, right? And gas is high out there.
Yeah, I feel sorry for people in California. Like when I was on AAA.com talking about
Mhm.
gas was
Yeah.
almost near $6 in California.
Oh, I know. I was there
Ooh.
because I have relatives in California. I was in Vegas back in May, and I couldn't believe it was over $5 a gallon in Vegas. And then once you get into California, it was like six, almost $7. It was insane.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. I mean, I tell people like this whole gas issue. One is, if I wanted to rig the markets, oil is the best place to rig it.
Mhm.
Why? Because literally, oil is the most used commodity, second to silver. Silver is second. And if you mess with oil, everything will get messed up, especially when you make oil negative on futures markets.
That happened
Woo.
in 2020. That happened for like a week. Oil went negative.
How does something go negative? Only by what? Manipulation.
Manipulation. Yeah, but I thought with that, I thought there was such a shock to the global supply chain that it made the inertia of it made the price fall that far. That's what I thought happened. I mean, I'm sure it was manipulated, but you know what I mean? Like literally the world like came to a screeching halt March 2020, you know?
How, and how is this? If I had to manipulate the price of oil, right? Just say I control the price of oil because I'm the
Mhm.
Fed. The Fed control. If you guys do not know, the Fed controls literally everything. If you don't believe me, look at cryptocurrency and then compare it to stimulus checks. You'll see a very
Interesting.
common way of thinking. The Fed can literally open market trade any asset class. If you don't believe me, go on YouTube or Google Fed trading desk. They can trade any asset. They're a
I've never
private
searched
bank.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Fed has
On
yeah, you can just the Fed private bank. The Fed can trade anything.
I mean, I've never searched YouTube about it.
You can YouTube it, Google it. There's people who I watch of them. They're the actual day traders of the Fed.
Oh, they've got it to where you know what's happening. I'm going to say it again. So you type it in, the first thing that comes up is an official Fed channel.
Yep.
So because the people that are looking for this stuff are kind of going down that whole rabbit hole about the Fed and fiat money and all that. So isn't that kind of funny? The first thing that happened, it just happens to come up, not accidental at all. You know.
Changing world order. I mean,
Well, this video comes up a lot by Ray Dalio. I remember when he published this, but I'm talking about right under it. It's an official Fed channel, Philadelphia Fed.
this should be. I mean, in my opinion, this should be one unconstitutional. But they're not part of the government. So
Right.
they have
a private central bank. A lot of people don't know that. You know, it's the way. One thing I'd say that the government does well is marketing, branding stuff. The politicians do it really well too. Like when you think Federal Reserve, and it's funny. I had a history teacher in high school that actually said this, and this shows how little sometimes your teachers actually know. She said she was explaining the Great Depression, and I don't think she'll ever see this, or if she still teaches, but she was explaining the Great Depression, and she told the class that we keep money on reserve to offset bad economic situations, and that was how she explained the Federal Reserve. And the more I learned about it, and I thought back to that explanation, I was like, "Oh my God, a teacher said that."
It's actually interesting when we look at the history of the central banks. So prior to 1913, the central bank's main task was to basically clean the money, not like illegally clean, but like if a dollar bill was teared or ripped, they would replace those bills. Like they actually had a really good task. They the central bank when it first came out, what they were designed, because each state had their own currency at one point in time. They had multiple states different currency. So now they federalized it. So now we have the dollar of the United States. Now it was gold backed. 1 ounce of gold equals 20. 1 ounce of gold was $20 bills, and they are connected. And I think it was 10 to 1 or 13 to 1 ounces of silver for one 20 silver dollar bill. $20 bill. Once they took us off the gold standard, and that's the goal of, I tell people this, if you want to study anything in monetary history, the one thing that a government does to control its people, the first thing they do is control the money. They manipulate money into currency. A good example, look at the Romans and look at Athens. Athens was one of the first countries that had hyperinflation. Because what? They diluted gold by pouring copper in it, and they were called what? I forget the name of it.
You said Athens?
Yeah, Athens was one of the first countries in the world to have hyperinflation.
Oh, you mean like the city-state, like in Greece, like they had city-states back in the day?
Yeah, they were.
So, I know this. I think I was half listening. I apologize.
Oh, sorry.
So tell me. So say it again. So they had hyperinflation in Athens, like in ancient Greece.
Yeah. So they had the problems that they were warring with the other countries nearby, and they were paying all their citizens and all their military in gold. Well, the problem is they weren't mining enough gold to pay out the people. So what they started doing, bright idea, was to, put copper inside of the gold. So that wasn't such a bad thing when they first did it, because they took each gold piece as 1-to-1. But as the gold started changing into a darker, deeper gold, and people understood that gold was worth more than these copper coins, now we started getting our first sense of hyperinflation. Now, when this started happening, this was a good sign that when a government's about to collapse, or they want to take the rights and freedom of the people, they take away the money. So
wait, was this in? This wasn't in ancient times. This was in the 40s.
Ancient times.
Oh, because there's been other situations, like Greece had the drachma currency, and like they've had, even going back 10 years ago, they had major instability with their currency. They were, what was the big word? Austerity measures, right? But no, I just Googled because you got my interest in this now.
Have you this is ancient history. I don't know the exact year, but I'll give it to you. Give me a second.
Yeah.
But what I tell people is this: every government, what you want to watch out is this: if they take your money and they convert it into currency, because money and currency are by definition two different things. Once a country takes away your money and they implement it into currency, their goal is to impoverish you, make you reliant on the government, and then you vote for the same individuals to stay in the government. That is the intention of every single government. They do the exact same thing over and over again. Good example: Bretton Woods.
Yep.
When Nixon took the gold standard, took off gold. I mean, let me rewind. One, they made gold and silver illegal, which by constitution they couldn't do that.
We should explain to the audience about the Bretton Woods Agreement. So that's what officially made the U.S. like the superpower that it is today. Yeah. That was Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, after World War II. Basically made the dollar the reserve currency of the world. And we're still living off of that today, but it's about to be a thing of the past. Yeah. It's about to be replaced.
And all this was done through a syndicate movement. Remember, the government made every other country, Britain, France, all of them pay their services in gold, while America paid everyone else in paper dollar bills that they were hyperinflating.
Yeah.
How do you think?
And a lot of other countries around the world don't like that. Like they felt like they got screwed in that deal. Like I know even in the financial crisis in 2008, 2009, like a lot of Latin American countries tried to pull out of the kind of world order, led by the American economy because of the corruption.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this: if you guys have time, audience, look up this, and you will be very surprised. Any country that goes off the gold standard, goes off the dollar standard and go to a gold standard, a fixed, non-manipulated measure, like gold, oil, silver, they will be invaded by America. Look at Gaddafi, Libya, Egypt.
I've heard some of that. Yeah.
Any country that talks about, hey, we're gonna go, because America doesn't care about crypto. In my opinion, crypto is mainly a scam. Because if a country goes to crypto, we all know that crypto and fiat currencies similarities are almost parallel.
Mm-hmm.
They're very hints on fraud, in my opinion. Not all cryptocurrencies. I would say like near 100%.
Well, I would put it this way. I believe in the concept of cryptocurrency, but just the way it's going, it's become kind of scammy. But the whole thing with Satoshi Nakamoto founding Bitcoin, the idea coming out of the ashes of the Great Recession, the financial crisis, there was a loss of confidence in the current monetary system, the Bretton Woods system, more or less. So, the way to fix it, and there's a great book, I've talked about it before, The Bitcoin Standard, talking about how, one day Bitcoin could replace the dollar. I don't see that, but I get the concept.
Yeah. I hope that Bitcoin doesn't do that. You'd be paying like $30 for a coffee when those transaction fees get kicked in.
Oh, right. But that would actually be probably the fair price if you index for inflation. Like, it's like a house. Like you see these things, in the 40s, a house was like $2,000 or something, or the cost of like a car now, Yeah,
it's actually interesting because when I talk about like what is true price, it is extremely hard to measure price without the government manipulation. So like if you look at the people that, if you guys do not know this, prior to the 40s, prior to the late 1800s, early 1900s, before the Federal Reserve, families used to buy houses with 50% down on loans, 80% down on loans with cash.
And that would be music to my ears in today's world. If people put 50% down, you know what I would do? And they would never elect me on this, but like I would say minimum 20% down on a house. Or at least 10%, not 3%. Because here's the thing, like, isn't it a problem if you go, say, you're not going to find a house anywhere under like probably 200,000, but say you're going to get a $200,000 place and you're going to put 3% down on it. You know what I mean? Like, so you're going to put like $6,000 down. You can come up with that. You can go to you can get like a payday loan or something, and all of a sudden you're buying a house. What's your likelihood of ever paying that off?
Well, I would say 3% is too much. Most people are getting those FHA or VA loans at 0%.
Right. Yeah, 0. Exactly.
Where's this money coming from?
Yeah.
Well,
it's so funny. Oh, the first time when I bought my first place, that's a story in and of itself. I could add this to like, I don't know, the book I'm writing or something. Like these people that work in the big banks, like, first of all, never do a mortgage with a big bank. Use like a credit union or like a savings and loan. That's my advice. But like they're so used to everybody being stupid. They didn't know what to do when I came in, because I was actually looking at the bottom line. Like, I didn't want to. They're like, oh, your payment's going to be this. You can get a 30-year loan instead of a 15-year loan. And they clearly wanted to steer me to the 30-year. And I wanted the 15-year, but like, oh, your payment. I don't care about my payment. I don't want to pay for one house what I could get 3 houses for in 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, and they're not used to that.
Oh, actually, I'm happy you brought that up, because this is something. So when looking at bonds and looking at like mortgages, other countries are giving out 40 and 50-year loans now for houses.
50-year loans.
Yeah.
So by the time you're old enough to get a house, is the life expectancy even? Are you ever going to pay that off?
To me, I mean, I think that banks are getting this money for free to loan out, and they're getting that sweet interest rate. But I think that these banks do not care or want individuals to pay off houses. They always want to turn the money as much as possible, and they get their commissions and fees as they go.
Yeah.
Like, if you want a good example, look at Japan. Japan gives out 40-year loans.
The interesting thing, interest rates have been way lower, at least in the last 30 years, than they were. Like in the 80s, it cost up to 18%. I don't see how people did it, like 18%, per year, basically, to buy a house or to get a mortgage.
I mean, I would just tell people this: like, I wish we had free markets, because these rates wouldn't be like this. What's free? Actually, it would be very hard to find free markets today in any market.
Actually,
maybe like
the thought of free markets with the debt where it is right now would scare the crap out of me, and rates would be like 30%. If the market dictated rates, you know what I mean?
If market dictated rates, we would.
Yeah.
I would say easily 30.
Yeah.
Maybe. Woo, that would be scary. Oh,
We don't want that. we need some government in this situation.
Well, yeah, because of the
Yeah.
manipulation. If we
Yeah.
started without it, like,
Mhm.
if we had to like live in, if we had like a fantasy right now and be like, hey, we never left the gold standard, and
Mhm.
Fort Knox carried all our gold, you know,
Time
and
travel to the past, and okay, the gold is still there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Most people, I would say most families that end up in their 30s, I'm sorry, most families that had a family in their 20s and they're middle-aged, at teenagers in their 30s and 40s would end up in the middle class. The
Mhm.
middle class was so much more attainable prior to the Fed,
Right.
because their purchasing power is so high. Like I tell people a good example. When I was a kid, the arcade was 25 cents. Now the arcade is over $1 or $2 to play one game.
Right.
Did the game change? No. Pac-Man hasn't changed. Still
True. Yeah. No, I've seen stuff like that too. Just like there was a point. It was actually cheaper. Like you could get deals at certain quick restaurants, and it was cheaper than like making your own food at home. But like that's not the case anymore.
Oh my god! I mean, even now, like I tell like if you looked at my personal budget, even my personal food cost, like I have my budget since I joined the military back in 2007.
Mhm.
Like how much I spent. I used to spend like $150 on myself for food.
Mhm.
I'm like if I'm analyzing, we're spending near $500 or more on a month on just food. Same things.
Yeah. And that's cheap. I mean, $500 a month on food. That's not bad at all.
This is
Actually.
not including restaurants.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if that did, then that's great.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like it blows my mind, because like I tell people, like it's almost impossible to beat inflation. Like try to beat, just say inflation was 18%, which I would say the CPI doesn't indicate real inflation.
Yeah.
We are upwards of near 20%, because they took out energy, they took out food. Like there's some costs that are extremely high, like eggs. Like if you go to barchart.com and look at some of these indexes in food, let me show you guys.
We move around so quick. I'm trying to keep up and with the visual aid, but yeah, go ahead and share your screen.
Here you guys go. If you want to find an amazing website, and this is like literally my favorite website, it's called barchart.com.
Yeah.
It has the best charts on every commodity. Like you can even look at COT data. Most people have never seen COT data, and I'm like,
Speaking of CPI, the big numbers coming out tomorrow. So that should be, the funny thing, we've been dropping for the last, I was just looking at the chart today. I should have had it ready, but we've been dropping. We were at like 9.1%. I got it up now. Barchart.com. But what I want to show first of all, I want to go to this Forex Factory, because tomorrow, what's on the palette tomorrow for the market domestically, CPI month over month, year over year, and core CPI. And it's expected to be at 7.3%, down from 7.7%. And we've actually been dropping. If you look, can you see the chart here? We peaked at 9.1% in July. So believe it or not, things are actually doing. We're actually doing better the last 5 months, thanks to the great job that Biden's doing. I'm just kidding, but the last 5 months, things are actually getting better. We hit the worst back in July, and dare I say, inflation may actually be transitory after all, because you can see on the chart here, we're starting, well, at least the paper, the fiat inflation,
There's two things. The first thing is that one, we're living off of our oil reserves. Biden's one of the only presidents to
strategic reserves. Yeah.
Yeah. And right now, the one thing that the news isn't talking about, I made a video about this. We're almost out of diesel.
Yeah, the diesel costs are going insane. Now, here's what I find interesting. So we had, if you can see this chart here, we actually had deflation in 2015. We actually had deflation. You see that? The CPI contracted.
and this is based on the current measurement of the CPI.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, and we know that's faulty, but let's not. I want to be careful how I say it, because the average person, this is what happens with my audience. I don't know about yours, but one of my viewers will come to me and they'll say, "But you said that's a faulty metric," and I'm like, "No. You got to think critically." Yes, it's a faulty. And see, this may be over some people's heads, but yes, the CPI number is outdated. The basket of goods is outdated. But, and this is another thing, this whole theory of what's actually driving inflation, right? There's so many people saying that, it's because of printing money. And my rebuttal, and I've been saying this for like a year, I've been saying, then why? We've been printing money the whole time. Did it just now catch up? Why didn't it? And this is where I was wrong in my own forecast of inflation, because I got to the point that I'm like, okay, look, the game is rigged. You got to just play it to the best of your own ability, right? So I said, okay, the Feds basically has the implicit put option on the market, right? with their open market operations and whatnot. So what's best for me, instead of ranting and raving about it, complaining, is to do something about it. So I said, okay, then just invest in stocks, because they're doing this because of the paper machine, right? So my point is, going back to like Obama, when he first came into office, we had like massive spending coming out of that great financial crisis. We had the $1 trillion bailout for the banks. We had $1 trillion stimulus packages. We had like omnibus bills. We had all these crazy bills coming out of Congress. We had trillions spent in the Middle East, right? We had all this spending, but we didn't see inflation. We actually saw deflation. Even as recent as 2015 and 2016, we were spending just as much. Well, we did spend a lot from the pandemic of unknown origin, actually known origin, right? We did spend a lot more, but the spending trend hasn't changed. So the point I arrive at is, then why did inflation, and my idea, because I asked that question already kind of having an idea, it's because of energy costs, which is what you were talking about with diesel and all of that. Yeah.
I would say the three main factors: diesel, and energy, then contributes into food. And the last thing is confidence of the currency.
Yes. And then so to further validate that theory, because like you said, we're tapping into the strategic reserve, because gas prices have started to come down. What's happening in the last 5 months? CPI is starting to come down. So the concern, it's like you have, like a doctor, the doctor has to diagnose the situation properly. So when the doctor is saying, being Chairman Powell at the Fed, well, we have to keep raising rates to get inflation under control, I think that's a misdiagnosis. Partly, it had so much to do with energy, and what started causing energy costs to go up, it's the clean energy agenda, the lack of domestic drilling for oil. It's like cutting off one hand for no reason.
And I would say one is done intentionally, because President Biden has said this: we are going to push clean energy. If there's a documentary about clean energy, it is not clean. It's very, very dirty. There is no clean energy. But when people break that stuff down and start understanding that, you got to see it from the point of intention. These people don't do things on accident. If I have my special interest groups in this sector of clean energy, quote unquote, and they are funding towards this, all my bills, all the laws that we pass are going to be towards that. And I'm going to basically crap on other industries. President Biden says in his speeches all the time, and that White House press course, they talk about the same thing. We are focusing on clean energy. One, that should be illegal. Government shouldn't dictate where the market goes based on their own spendings. But that's another point. But they're saying that we're going to focus on clean energies. All the money is going to be put into clean energies. Why do you think they get a 33% tax deduction off of solar panels?
Right.
I would say, and this is a good theory, I think the reason why like companies like Tesla do so good, because they get so many tax deductions that other companies just can't get.
Oh, certainly. It's like government picking winners and losers.
Yes. And now people are trying to run into solar, I mean, I'm not saying solar is a bad source of energy, but if you want a stable economy, stable energy source, you go oil, you go nuclear. You don't go solar. Solar is, I mean, it can't even power, like when you, remember Texas had that big freeze and solar panels and wind? Yeah. I felt like solar panels did okay, but it didn't help them. They needed something to burn.
It's not consistent. Yeah, it's solar energy, because some of my friends that have solar panels, I've kind of looked at the roof. I'm like, oh, what's this? Nice, you know. And they're like, and I'm like, so what all is this powering for you in the house? Do you like sell energy back to the power company? Oh no, this powers my fridge. And I'm like, that's a lot of panels to power the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of. You had to put all of it on your roof just to power one appliance. Like, yeah. I hate to see, like, for your whole house, you'd have to like stack them up. It would cave in your roof. Like, you'd have to have so many of them, you know.
Like, one of my friends is a solar panel installer in Vegas, and we had this conversation. He was saying that people save money each month by getting solar panels on the roof. And I just told him, like, you know what? You know, let's say it does do that. Wouldn't it just be cheaper if they just spent all that same money on making another refinery or making oil cheaper? Then everything goes down, and you wouldn't have to worry about solar panels.
Right.
You wouldn't even need them.
Exactly.
Like, and if you didn't, no, in Vegas we have solar thermal panels, solar thermal plants, where they get all those mirrors and they reflect it off of one area and they boil the water into a steam engine.
I got a picture of that coming from LA to Vegas. I have a picture of that on my phone, because that looked it looked so like almost otherworldly when I saw it. Here it is. Yeah, it's cool looking. Can you see? It's got like, it looks like two towers.
You see? I kind of see it.
Yeah. Let me do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it clearly now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just driving to when you drive down to LA, all those solar thermal plants.
Right.
Yeah. I wish we focused on those. Those are absolutely amazing. But
right. Seeing that pop up in the middle of the desert, though, that's really like, wow, what is that? Because that's how, like, from the distance, that's how it looks. From a distance, yeah, that's what you see.
I mean, solar panels. I say there's a case by case. Maybe you're in a remote area, then solar panels should be needed. But I would say, if I have to guess on the future, and I even said this in videos, I buy uranium stocks. I think nuclear is the future. Not what President Biden thinks. I think nuclear is the cleanest energy. I mean, just the numbers say nuclear has to be so much more efficient than oil burning. I mean, I know in the northeast of America, they use heating oil for everything. Their costs have jumped. Like, I was watching a woman saying her energy bill $700 on the Fox News interviews. And it just, if we don't get this energy crisis controlled, I would say that we're in a buying dip right now. If Biden does more smart things, prices might like hyperbolic higher. And if they do, stocks will go up, guaranteed.
Well, and the moment that the Fed starts cutting rates again, stocks are going to soar. I think that could happen sometime next year.
Yes, I would 100% agree. I talked about, like, I think stocks are, I mean, this is why, like, I think crypto is going to get smashed lower, but then when the Fed starts doing their massive amount of printing, that's where the markets, stocks, everything goes up. Like, we're in another boom.
You know what I heard that kind of disappointed me? Like, I don't know much about Jerome Powell, but I heard that he doesn't even really have much of a like markets and finance background. He was like a lawyer or something. He was in investment banking briefly. See, he's Georgetown Law. I just pulled up his Wikipedia profile here. And the thing is, I mean, Trump appointed him.
I would say this. When it comes to the Fed, I don't know if Jerome Powell has actual power. So when you look at the Fed guys, the Fed is owned and controlled by 13 organizations. The Federal Reserve, who is appointed, the Federal Reserve chairman, who's appointed by whatever president, controls only one seat. The other 12
seats. There's the 13 like circuit banks, right? Or like, isn't it?
at, what is it, 14 seats or 30, whatever. But
Yeah, 13.
I would say those seats are controlled by basically private banks and private individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say they're only going to do what benefits them first prior to what's going to benefit us.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to interest rates. I mean, if interest rates go back down to zero, we might see a new record high in the S&P and the Dow.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I'm going to do call options like crazy because that'll be the market to do it.
Yeah. All my trading robots be like, instantly buy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Another boom would be awesome, but I have a feeling what's probably going to happen is that once the government knows what they're going to do. Once they drop rates to zero, I have a good feeling they're going to increase capital gain and taxes even higher to diminish their.
Oh, it'll be like a tax boom for the IRS, basically. Yeah, because they'll create all these gains. I'm surprised they didn't do that last time, actually. Not that I want to give them any ideas, but
I mean, they're currently doing it now with that 600 with their 80 with them. Sorry, with this is it
$600? That's the dumbest thing ever.
Oh no, if I have the perspective of the IRS, it's the best way to monitor people's money.
Yeah, but they've already got the $10,000 threshold if you're the T word, as you say.
Yeah, but now it's $600, and $600 is so easy. Is it 600? It's 600, so easy to bust. Yeah. Like it's so easy to bust. That's someone's like they said this is excluding like payments for like a service, but if you're paying your rent and it's to someone else individually, you're gonna have to report that. Individuals have to report that.
Right.
Like there was some third party like separation, but now the government will know more. And when the Fed cryptocurrency comes out now, they will know every dollar that you spend.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, the cryptocurrency for the China just came out. Have you seen the pictures on it? It actually
no, I got to look it up at that.
Yeah. Look at the Chinese Fed cryptocurrency. That has an expiration date on the money. It only gives you a few weeks to spend the money. They don't allow you to save.
It expires. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a prepaid card. Is it the ECNY, the digital yuan?
Yeah. It's scary because America's going to be copying them very soon because we're going to have the social credit score soon.
That's the goal, yeah.
And
I got to get my charger. I'll be right back. Keep talking though. Yeah. But
what they're going to do is control American spendings first, primarily, because the dollar is like 40% of all transactions out there. Once they control your money, they're going to start doing a social credit score, and if you're against it, they're going to do what they did to Andrew Tate, pretty much cancel you across the board. And it's going to be very painful for people. And so even for me, it's hard. It's getting harder and harder to even catch up with these guys because they're causing things to be difficult as an American citizen. Oh man, it's on. Let me go on my Twitter page. I think that the expiration date is going to be like about a month. I think the expiration date is going to be like a month or two. So this will force people to actually spend their money without saving it. But
that's what they want.
But I tell you, this is not my idea. Like I didn't come up with this first. If you want to find out who has a great video about this, watch George Gammon and Mike Maloney. They have a video playlist that talk about what the Fed's goals are because they're so obvious in what they do. Like you just type in George Gammon and federal. Just go to his channel. He is 1,000 times better than me. If you want someone to explain markets and economy and macroeconomy, woo, this guy's your guy. Like I thought I study like 5-6 hours a day off of finance. Like that's how
impressive. Wow.
This dude is like, I can't even keep up. He'll say something. And I'm like IBOR rates. I don't know.
Oh, the LIBOR. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. I can go into it, but he breaks it down to a point where I'm like, bro, where did you read this at? Well, page 15 of what?
Just so the audience probably doesn't know, there's people that probably never heard of that. That's the London Interbank rate. It's basically the equivalent of our Fed funds rate, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And they go through I'll say, guys, watch George Gammon. He is not YouTube friendly. Letting you know, he's actually him and his organization are actually suing the Fed.
He's got almost 500,000 subs.
Oh yeah, Mike Maloney too, Peter Schiff too. They have near 500,000, 500,000, but YouTube does not put their stuff on the front page. Like Mike Maloney,
they put Graham Stephan on the front page.
Look, warning to the Fed. Like his videos, they do amazing. Like when it comes to information, like he doesn't sell you a course. He doesn't try to sell all this crap on you. He'll just say the same thing, guys. These people are against you. How I know? Look at what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, my belief, like all these people that sell courses and stuff like that, like if you get enough money, like more money than you'll ever spend in life, like how much do these people need? You know, like I've heard Meet Kevin say he made like 20 million like last year. Like I'd be happy with like 10% of that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I can see if you have intentions of like doing something with it, but when you start increasing your sales and increasing more on selling courses, it's just greed.
Yeah.
That I would say it's like we all have our special items we want to buy. Like I want to buy a new computer. Like a computer for me is not a cheap thing. Like if you looked at my room right now, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 2 laptops right here, 5 monitors here, and a tablet right here.
I've got 3 monitors, but 2 of them aren't compatible with the CPU. I've still got to figure that out one day.
Like, I can see getting a new computer, taking care of your family, but there is a point where I would say they get to the Meet Kevin level, or what's his name, Graham, and it's only about greed.
And they're still like Graham is still probably as frugal as me, and yeah, he's got crazy money.
Yeah, I just thought like doing what they do is not hard. I think it's a moral basis. Like you have, like
one of those channels I showed you that was in Echo's group, who I won't mention. You weren't too impressed from what you told me on Facebook, but the channel had Kevin on. He was one of the first ones to actually get Kevin on, and he was like, "You better give me $1,000." And Kevin was reluctant to come up with $1,000. And I was watching very entertained because I'm like, okay, here's a guy that he claims to make like 20 million a year. $1,000 should be nothing. That should be like handing someone a quarter on the side of the road for him, you know? But he was like, he said like, I can't right now or something. So I found that interesting, but kudos to the channel for getting him on.
Maybe can't or won't. Won't help.
Right.
I mean, like,
I think he finally did.
Just how somebody is. I'll say Meet Kevin's demise, in me watching him, is mainly when it happened to, like, he was pretty bad before COVID, but during COVID and all those weird videos of him walking around in a
green
suit,
hair
and a suit.
Yeah.
For
You didn't like the green hair?
No. It's just, is there a YouTube-ish? Like,
yeah, it gets attention.
Attention is a new currency, but it's I would say that's not a male. It's not a
masculine color.
No.
Yeah, or he had pink hair.
I mean, it's a good way. Like if I start changing my channel up and start doing the same thing, I think it would garner a lot of views, but it wouldn't speak the truth.
I'll tell you, when I try to do stupid stuff, like I wore the $ glasses and I had a cool hat and stuff, it didn't make a difference, you know. I mean, but my channel's small, so I don't know.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe in the upcoming years. I think I might hit 1,000 videos and then have.
I'm gonna hit 200 by the end of the year.
200.
You know what frustrates me? Like I'm seeing channels they just started like 2 or 3 months ago and they've already got like 20,000 subscribers. Oh, you know who's really impressed me? That I'm gonna show, and that other group's not gonna like this because they had a big falling out with him. But this guy, you sent me one of his videos. This guy Scott Schaefer, he's gone over 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
107.
Really,
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. He's cracked the secret that we were talking about, because I've watched him. Yeah, but he's gone. This guy had like 10,000 subscribers 3 months ago. And then he started talking about he broke the. He was either the first or the second one to break the Meet Kevin DUI story, and then that just blew up. And then he broke this established titles, and he got like 3 million views, and his sub counts just exploded.
I mean, as seen as CoffeeZilla, like I'm looking at his stuff now and looking at his subscribers in the last 30 days.
What's he doing? Yeah.
I mean, if you and I wanted to say, hey, our goal is to grow like him, we only need to talk about what is trendy. That's it.
Yeah, but we could do a video on the same thing he talks about. We're not going to get nearly the views that he gets.
Yeah.
So like this established titles, like I could do a video right now and I may break 100 views. You may break like 100, 200, you know.
Yeah, but then we're gearing our audience. So when, for example, if you guys don't know about YouTube, guys, YouTube places, everyone has subscribers. Most subscribers are in a little small group based on the individual's channel, right? So when you make a video, just say we're both finance. If me and you make a video about pranks, well, the prank video niche is over here. Our audience won't watch it because they will watch some of it, some will, but YouTube algorithm won't promote it because it's not congruent
in the
with
niche.
in the niche.
It's like it doesn't know what to do with it. And like for my channel, I'm basically a dividend channel at this point because the core of my viewers, and this was kind of by accident for some reason, like I always wanted to do dividend videos because dividends are a part of finance, but I did my first one on like the dividend snowball effect. It took off, got like 3,000 views. And now ever since then, I've had this core of my audience that's been dividend fans, and they won't show up for any other video, which is strange to me because even though I like dividends, like I'll watch other stuff that the channel talks about. If I find a really good finance channel, like I'm not as likely to watch Forex as I am to watch options. But if I have a really good channel that I like, I'll watch they're talking about Forex because they're that good. And I'm like, all right, what they say here is reliable. What they say here is reliable. And I thought the same thing would apply like with me. I'm like, okay, dividends. Okay, I talk about options. I know what I'm talking about there. But then I can talk about other stuff. And I mean, you'll see, like, I won't get there's some videos that won't break 50 views, you know, like a good example, like these last 3 I paid an editor to do. And now that same editing group, they're trying to do another channel for me. They want to charge me like $500 a month. I don't know if I want to go forward with it or not. But like most of these, so like if it's outside of dividends, like you'll notice a clear difference here. Like I did a live trade, options trade. I got 26 views. My last dividend video, 88 views. The one before that, 124 views. And then the one I talked about, a very trending dividend ETF, almost 800 views. So if I just stick to dividends all the time, I'll get bored, but I'll get the views, I guess, you know.
I watched this video about Steve Nash, Tom Nash.
Oh, Tom Nash.
They said
one of my favorites.
One of those videos that really got them good is that they found one video that did really good, and Tom Nash is like this dividend video, just like yours, and all they do is talk about that same group, and the views and subscribers will come. Even if you don't even like it, just talk about just that one asset or one video type.
That's what I've been doing with QYLD and JEPQ. And I don't want to seem, I can't be disingenuous. Like I'm actually invested in both now. I wasn't before, but like, and I'm down in the QYLD, but I can talk about QYLD. I could put QYLD in the title. It'll get double the views of anything else.
Interesting. Now, it's funny. Like I made a video not too long ago about international dividends, and it did like 45 views.
Which one was that?
Like I would say the best videos that do on my channel are gold and silver videos and cryptocurrency videos. If people do not know, guys, I do not buy crypto. I only trade it. There's no reason to buy it. I don't think there's any real reason to hodl it. So it's like a.
What was your dividend video?
Just scroll down to, I think, 2 rows.
Oh, okay.
Right, one more. My programming videos do pretty good though, somewhat. Right there, dividends. literally, I just tell people like international dividends are to me are better than stateside dividends because dollar
Buying the
strong.
Buying the dip on dividend stocks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's your title. I could actually give you some coaching on this. It's your title because that's such a generalized title. Like there's probably millions of videos. Now, if you put a specific fund, then it would double the views. And I don't know if you use like vidIQ or whatnot. I mean, obviously, I'm no expert. Like, look at my views. My views aren't that much better or about this, worse in some cases. But like, if it was, it's the title, I think. And then, you have someone do your thumbnails.
I do all. There's ones that I pay, and then there's ones that I do by myself. The videos that I know that will do bad. I mean, I've been doing YouTube and posting so many videos. I already know how many views the video will get.
I like the one with Ron DeSantis and with Fauci and the clown mask.
Oh yeah, I make fun of.
That's good.
If you guys make fun of if you make fun of Fauci, don't expect a lot of views. I make fun of him all the time.
Oh, yeah.
God, he's such a clown, man.
Mm-hmm.
How is he a doctor? You can't be a doctor and be political.
Right.
Let me see.
Highest paid government employee, highest paid government employee.
Like I tried other type of videos, but I have a good feeling. Like even with my audience, my audience is probably a mirror image of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Same age category, no females watch my channel, only males, 30s, 40s, 20s, 50s.
I've been able to improve in the female demographic. I think it's because some of my videos are starting to go out to a wider audience. I'll go ahead and show the back end. I'm at I gained some more subscribers after a couple of dividend videos. I'm at like 1234 or so. Let's see if I lost any. Sometimes no, I stayed the same. But what's cool, it's a lot of the dividend channels that let me see here. If I go to analytics, ad revenue is terrible, but
I'm there. I'm there with you.
Yeah. It's been horrible for this month, but where was it? Because I can see it on the phone, on the mobile app. Oh, here we go. Like it's all see other channels your audience watches. It's all dividend channels, basically.
It's interesting because like when I look at my top videos and all that stuff, that you're looking at, my top videos is a programming video, crypto video, and then gold and silver. Like if I make a gold and silver video, like if I say, here guys, like let me take one of my boxes. Here's my last order.
This channel, some of these I know, some of them I don't. This one, he never shows his face. He just does like faceless videos, but he's got a really good channel.
Faceless videos, that's good. That's lucky. Awesome. Oh, here. Yeah, I bought this cool dragon not too long ago.
What is it?
See? Silver bar dragon.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I literally buy every single Friday. I tell people, like, if you want to be in the top 1%, buy.
You're buying silver. Silver. A lot of people have asked me about silver, and I'm probably not as gung-ho on the precious metals as you are. I should be, but as an asset, it doesn't perform like the index for silver doesn't. Like, what is it, SLV? So if I look at the iShares, it's gone up, but it hasn't like outperformed the S&P.
I like this. I'm happy you brought this up. So SLV, SLVO, SLVI. I mean, I have literally every single ETF, ETN index for silver and gold on my spreadsheets over here. Okay. None of them own physical gold and silver. They all own shares of gold and silver rights. They own like
interesting. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, they don't. SLV, if you guys have time, look it up. SLV does not connect to the real price of silver. The real price of one silver ounce is about $32.
Where do you look up the actual real price of silver?
Go to apmex.com.
How do you spell it?
APM. I just typed it here. Private message.
AP next.
apmex.com. There you go.
All right, let's see.
Now, there's called paper silver, and then there's called precious metal silver markets. Paper silver, digital silver that we looked at, SLV, does not connect to real silver. So what they did, what the banks did is they disconnected the price discovery mechanism of silver physical to the silver ETF. So they're not connected at all. So when people try to say like, oh, why is SLV? If you want to buy silver today, you're spending $5 to $10 more than what SLV is selling.
Can you bring the side up, because it's not coming up for me?
No problem. Here you go. Let me share my
So
screen.
how has it, do they have like a 10-year graph of it? Just the silver itself? Okay.
I mean, even I have my own personal charts that I created that show that they're lying about the prices.
I've probably given misinformation to people because I've kind of touted the same line that SLV,
If you, and this is my opinion, I can show the charts too, but if you want to be in the top 1%, the only asset that you should be buying, in my opinion, outside of all that crap, is this precious metals. Precious metals has, in my opinion, has outperformed every single index, all of them.
Interesting.
Watch. I'll show you why too. I don't like this spitball. I'm showing people evidence.
Yeah.
All right. See this amazing site, guys? So if you want to buy 1 silver ounce of silver, this is a cheap thing called. This is not my website. I don't have an affiliate link. I'm not selling you anything. Okay. Let me get that out there. This is $28 for 1 silver ounce. If you want an American Silver Eagle, $37. SLV is selling silver at market spot at what price?
Oh, it's the spot price. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. To buy silver will cost you almost $40 per ounce.
21. It's selling for 21.46.
Yeah. Why? I tell people.
How does the fund? That's a really interesting point. Then how does the fund trade for almost half the cost of? Because
they're not buying. They don't own any gold and silver. It's that fund. That ETF is a derivative. It's all based.
This is like this is the if you trade futures. This is like is this like silver futures basically?
Silver, it's paper. It's paper silver.
Interesting.
It's not. So if, for example, if SLV has liquidation problems, you would think they'll sell precious metals. No, they won't. Look at their balance sheet. They don't own almost any silver. This is why I tell people I study the silver and precious metals market so much that when people talk about like if you want to get to the top 1%, I'll say in someone's video, 1 ounce of silver is going to $400 per ounce.
By when?
I don't make time frames. It will.
Yeah. I have no doubt it will.
Yeah. I'll show you some examples, guys.
Yeah.
Now I am showing you my website. I'm not trying to show you my website, but I actually need to go there. But
it's just like the Dow will hit 40,000 one day. The S&P will hit 5,000 one day.
But I would say in the next 1 or 2 presidencies, silver and gold have to go. Gold has to go to 10,000. Not because I wanted to. It has to go there.
It has to. Yeah.
And I'll show you here off my own website, precious metals, gold, silver price, Fed balance sheet. Gold doesn't, remember, when it comes to central bank guys, tier 1 asset of all banks in America and around the world is gold, then silver, then oil. All of them every single month buy billions of dollars worth of silver, gold, and oil. If you don't believe me, look at any central bank's balance sheet. They buy it every single month.
But then they tell people that, oh, these have no intrinsic value, but yet they're buying them up.
See this right here? Now, this is the Fed's balance sheet and also price of gold. The price of gold will always do accounting for all the manipulation that the governments are doing. Gold has gone up 400% in the last few years.
So from 2005 to now, it looks like more like 1,200%.
Well, if you look at it,
that the Fed's balance sheet has gone up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What will happen is that gold will one day catch up to the price of the Fed. I'm sorry, the Fed's balance sheet.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a minimum of $10,000 per silver gold ounce.
Explain to the audience the logic for how that has to happen. It has to catch up to the balance sheet, right?
So remember, so actually, I need to bring up one more chart to explain this, guys. I have to bring up the price, the dollar purchasing chart. Give me 1 second. It's on my website. I'm not selling you guys anything. I just have everything like hotkeyed here.
I'm so used to hearing affiliate link down in the description. I've never done that. Have you ever gotten a sponsor?
I get attempts on it because I talk about crypto so much.
I had
the main sponsors.
Yeah. I thought it was a scam.
Oh, one second. Give me 1 second. I gotta go to a different screen. Got like 8 screens open right now. Median dollar purchasing power chart. Power.
So silver, or was gold? You were showing like 400% in the last 10 years or 15 years.
Oh, actually, it has gone way higher than that. Remember, I'm telling you this, guys. Before I even show you the chart, gold and silver have outperformed every single index. You don't want to believe me? I'm going to prove it to you right now. Watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, guys. Here is gold without inflation adjusted. I'm sorry, with inflation adjusted, and with the government manipulation. Okay, not logged. Remember, guys, gold used to be $20 before the government made it illegal. Remember, it was illegal. Americans could not own it.
And this
Why
is
did they do
adjusted.
that?
This is adjusted for inflation.
Yeah, just for inflation, right?
Oh, when they made it, FDR made it illegal, right? So that the public couldn't buy it.
What do you think the value is on something when it's one constitutionally said it's supposed to be owned, and guess what? They made it illegal. So, in my opinion, making something illegal and it massively ramping up to this high, the price of gold will outperform all other markets because it's the only thing that can keep its purchasing power. The dollar.
When was that? The first huge spike in the chart, was that in 1980?
The first huge spike was in 1930s when they.
I mean, the one that's like a straight line.
Oh, that's when This was when interest rates hit up like I think 18%.
Interesting. Okay.
Median. So when people say gold has no value, everyone knows that gold has value. Dollar has no value. Median dollar purchasing power chart. Here, give me a second. Oh, I found it. Oh, I was spelling it wrong. That's why.
The site. Yeah, I was trying to pull it up too. It wasn't coming up.
I was like, I was putting Ferd, that Fred.
Oh yeah. Oh, the FRED. Yeah.
All right, here you guys go. So this is something that, remember, when we measure markets, we measure them in dollars, but we don't measure
flat lines.
We don't measure them in purchasing power. So when we see this right here, let me show you guys a very cool chart. This is the Dow Gold Fed. This is the Dow Gold ratio. What people have never done in finance is measure something with something. We measure things in dollars. Dollars lose value. Measure the price of measure one share of the Dow to one gold ounce. Then the charts start to change. You start seeing that when you measure price to price, that things are actually not measured the same. I'm sorry, not the same value in purchasing power. So to rates, stock markets. Here we go.
These are all like the futures, like copper, soybeans, wheat.
Here it is. Oh, I found it. Love. I mean, I go through these charts so often that I simply like once you start researching what people are actually. It's called the gold Dow ratio. Gold Dow. Oh, here it is.
Dowry. Oh.
Dow ratio. Do I really gotta? You really gotta be retarded with me right now? Okay. So maybe it's an economy. Women versus. So tonight I'm gonna reprogram this website and just move everything to hot links.
So what we're telling the audience, basically, long story short, those of you considering buying Kevin's ETF, buy gold and silver instead.
I don't understand how people can. I don't know what his ETF's about, but I mean I don't know if he's a really good stock picker.
He's not. I mean he's had some wins, but a lot of his stocks that he used to talk about have gotten crushed. But I will give him credit. He did call the bottom of the market, or he called the top of the market pretty close, and he took a lot of heat for that.
He's LIBOR rates, 10-year treasury rates.
I got to go to this site more.
Oh.
My problem, I don't have the time on my hands to research all this stuff as much as I want to.
I spend hours a day studying.
If I got to where if I didn't have to work full time, well, I finished school, but like if I could just make enough money doing all of this, I'd research all day too.
Yeah, and that's why when I watch other channels and they talk about basic finances, it just infuriates me.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
My perfect day, like as a self-employed YouTuber, finance guru, like I'd do a market live stream in the morning, and I'd do my trades. I'd live stream my trades so everybody could see them. I would sell trades that day. Like that would be the start of like the perfect day, basically. Yeah.
I think I was blind because it was right in front of me the entire time. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's go through the first one, guys. So this is the Dow gold ratio. This is measuring the one share of the Dow measured gold.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need to take off log. Look at this. This is what the actual Dow is measured in.
And the gray bars are recessions.
So
yeah.
this is the 2000 tech crash, right? And this is what the Dow actually measures. It's actually half of what the tech is versus what the Dow really is now. The Dow is like record highs.
What's funny, in 2000, the recession bar was very narrow, but the market stayed down for like almost 3 years.
Yeah. Ooh,
that's the Great Depression.
Yeah, the Great Depression. And this is how much gold you could have gotten for one share of the Dow. If you actually start to measure things not in dollars and actually find the true value, you would find that the charts are completely backwards.
So what's the Dow and what's gold? I see there's like one line.
So this line is one share of the Dow to gold, right? So if you took apart, instead of measuring it in dollars, measured it in gold, you would actually have the Dow sitting at like 19 versus its high of back in 2000. It's completely reversed because you're measuring something with something else. When you start measuring something and something else, like let's say you, instead of measuring things in dollars, you measure things in apples, because apples are real, dollars are fake. So the price of an apple divided by asset class, which asset class is undervalued? Dollars, the stock market, or apples? This is showing you that right now, undervalued, the gold is more undervalued than the Dow is. It's better to own gold than it is to own the Dow. And if you compare the Dow, let's take this, look at gold to oil ratio. Which one should you have? More gold or oil? Right now, they're both considered low. Look how it used to be. Oil used to be extremely high. S&P 500 to gold, look, same thing. Should you be in the S&P 500 or should you be in gold?
See, my whole thing, the current system, there's too many people making money in the current system for it to go away. That's been my kind of cynical conspiracy theory. Like there are too many people in power that are doing well in the current system for it to just go away. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at these spikes and you start measuring like why people think, look, with inflation, silver was measured at almost $140. Look how much it used to be. Pennies. I'm sorry, $5.
Yeah.
We are going to see a massive spike higher. I don't know when, but it's going to be soon.
So my strategy would be when we have the next run up in the market, who knows, it could be the last. Who knows? So make like $5 million in the current system, you know, doing all this trading and stuff. Take half of it, put it into gold, silver, precious metals.
Well,
and then the other half just live on as long as I can.
It will be too late.
Oh, really?
So, for example, I show people.
Oh, because it's going to go up. It's going to go up in the next couple of years.
Yeah. So for example, in the housing market crash, if you buy precious metals in 2008, 2009, and sold in 2010, 2011, that would be ideal. But the problem is when people try to buy precious metals when they're low, they're unattainable. This SLV is trading at what, 17, 18 bucks, but the price of silver is at 40 bucks because everyone's seeing it. What that big buyers see what I'm talking about now. If you're buying silver at 40 bucks, expect to be selling it for hundreds of dollars because there is the wave of people who are going to be entering too late. And it's going to be very painful for people who don't own real money. And by definition, silver and gold are money by the Constitution.
Well, let's be honest. Most people don't own money at all, much less real money, you know?
Like this is money, silver, but this is a dragon piece. This is like for funsies, for my collection.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I tell people, like, once this happens, because basically, here, I'll show people a chart. So I hate talking about stuff. Like, I like showing people evidence.
Yeah.
If you go into investing.com, guys, and look at, and this is probably why my channel gets the ratings it does, because
Talking about this stuff.
oh yeah, because it's basically anti-government. If you're buying precious metals, you're against the government. If
Interesting.
most people think because you're hedging on them to fail. That's the only reason why gold and silver do so good, because the government fails.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah.
Allow this domain. Oh god damn it! That's why I hate this browser sometimes.
Oh, it blocked ads. What's the browser called again?
Vivaldi. It blocks all ads, so when I look at investing websites, they can't load it. But I have to go to TradingView.
Okay.
TradingView, then look at XAG and XAU.
I've gone to that site before, the TradingView.
Oh, I show this in every crypto video.
Mm.
Here, guys, let's look at. I hope this gets a lot of views and helps people. I really do, because this stuff will save them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That if you buy, even having a portfolio of 5% precious metals, if it 10x's or 150x's, because what people don't understand, the other part of the formula, if gold and silver consume all the, the current supply of currency, and it goes up to $400, do all markets go up to $400, or they go down? That's where you make your money at. When gold and silver go up, everything else crashes. You sell your precious metals, buy cheap real estate, cash flow real estate in cash. That's how you hit the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my method of how to hit the higher things. Waiting for the markets to crash, selling precious metals, moving them into hard assets that cash flow, like businesses and assets, buying them in cash, no financing. Oh my God.
Right.
Mike Maloney and Peter Schiff books talk about this stuff and the evidence based on it, but I have never seen like Bloomberg or what's his name? What's that dude? That Kramer. Kramer. Thank you.
Oh, never. No, don't get me going on Kramer. It was funny talking about the Meet Kevin ETF thing. So they met each other, and I was like, oh, perfect. It's like two peas in a pod here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything that guy says is wrong, and it's crazy because he was a talented trader. I mean, he was. I think he went to like an Ivy League school. He was on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. But everything that guy says is wrong. Like they call it inverse Kramer. Do the opposite of what he says. Yeah, I can't listen to that guy.
I watched the Twitter page of it, Twitter feed of it, and people say the same thing. Just do whatever he says, the opposite.
I did a video of Kramer. He had the whole clown nose and the hat and all that. But he's something else. He actually, one of his famous ones, he said, buy Bear Stearns like a week before it went bankrupt. And that's the thing with these people, because they're not held accountable, because they say, oh, I wasn't giving advice. I just, it was my thought at the time.
Well, I would say, it's like the whole like guru thing. I'm not giving advice. I'm just sharing my thoughts. And I have an affiliate link at the bottom.
The funniest guru thing I've come across recently, I was talking to someone about this today. It's called a life coach. So like anybody can be a life coach, and they can charge up to like $200 an hour to be a life coach.
I would agree. This is actually something that's very, very popular that's happening.
Yeah. It's funny. A life coach.
Silver.
$200 an hour.
Have you watched the one from Kim Kardashian?
Mm-hmm.
Rob Kardashian? He makes like $100,000 a year being a life coach.
That's crazy.
It shows the current affairs of how people are.
Yeah.
Like it is.
No, because the show I was watching, they were being funny, and the guy lost his job, and he's like, I gotta make income somehow, so I'm gonna go be a life coach. And he starts talking to a girl who she got into some personal stuff with him, and then she's like, oh, you helped me so much, and he has this surprised look on his face. And he's like, oh, I'm a successful life coach now. I can raise my rates.
Oh, here it is. Okay,
yeah.
I got it right here. So here is on about like if you guys bought any time down here, this is the cash. This is a spot market, so this is not real silver. This is paper silver, right? Mm-hmm. Silver went from like $10 up to $52 on the market.
What's the ticker on this?
XAG USD.
So is this like a currency pair?
Yeah, basically a currency pair. Remember,
Okay.
they
I know
silver.
I know a little bit on Forex. I'm getting there.
So what they have done is they disconnected real silver from the markets into paper silver. So people assume that these are the real prices. $23 for an ounce of silver. Where? Show me
That's
where.
what happens, yeah. And I've been guilty of spouting that talking point too.
And look right here, silver. If you want to go to APMX.com, it's at $40. It says $23 right here. Go to APMX, and this is not just this website. Look,
does the same technical analysis work for this stuff too? Like the same technical analysis, like you have the M chart or the the patterns and stuff. Does that work?
When it comes to trading precious metals, this is not. I don't do it off of technical analysis. I do it off of economics.
Fundamentals, basically. Yeah. That's the same belief I have, but so many people say, "Oh, support and resistance. You make the trade here." You know.
Wow. I have. Oh my God. Maybe on a different live stream, I can show people. If you follow support and resistance, you will almost always lose money. Like I had.
There's so many fake gurus. Again, they claim they got it down to a science. Here's support. Here's resistance. I think my take on it, like it works if you make the trade the same day. So if you're basically a pattern day trader, it may work.
Here, let me show you something cool. I think I can. I'll just bring my trading software up out here.
Yeah.
I'll take a second. This is how people calculate support and resistance. I have an indicator that I created just for this.
Nice.
Just to prove why I stay away from support and resistance.
Yeah.
So, here we go. Oh, no. Okay, not that one here. I have thousands of indicators in here. Oh, my God.
You have like the Bollinger Bands, the MACD, things like that. Yeah.
When you start programming, I have a list of 100 indicators, and I only the top 10 indicators I use personally. And the best one out there that I tell publicly is the ATR, is the average true range. But after that, almost every single indicator is just straight dog shit.
The average what range?
ATR, average true range.
Average true range. Okay. Average like in a specific period of time? Or...
Yeah. It just tells you based on X amount of candles, the period, this chart has moved this much.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let me minimize all this so you guys don't see my active trades. Here you go. This is support and resistance. This indicator goes through. Let me minimize this a little bit. This is a Forex pair. Doesn't matter which one here. Let me make it better for you guys. Literally, buy at support. So this is resistance right here. This is support. Basically, if you just change time frames, it'll just tell you you're at support. You should be buying. Buying. This is support now. This is going to be resistance. It should be selling or exiting.
And how often does this work?
This works in theory in the past. Like, oh yeah, I should have bought here.
Everything's perfect in the past. Like hindsight's perfect, right? Yeah.
Like right now, we're at support. We're at support. We should be buying. Okay. Alt T. Where's Alt T? Here, let's buy. My trading software. My target profit's right here. So if I make this trade, I make $5. If I lose this trade, I lose $6. Whatever.
How much initially invested?
So in Forex, you can, depending on what your leverage is, you can leverage more of a smaller account and give you more buying power. So if you have 100 to 1, your $100 account is essentially worth 10,000.
Interesting.
And for that, on a dollar account, I'm betting 10 cents per pip. So 10 cents in each price change up to this amount, which is about 50 pips, 60 pips. I'll earn $5.
And explain a pip.
So a pip. All right, let's break this down. You guys can see?
Yeah.
So if you guys look, actually, I need the spread to answer this question. There you go. All right, see that spread? That's as far as it goes. So basically, your price per point is what you're getting paid on. You're hedging or betting in a sense that every time it changes one price per pip from here to whatever, you're gaining X amount of dollars for your minus the spread. So see how it says 35.7 on here?
Mm-hmm.
That's 38.7 pips times 10 cents equals about what? $3.90. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I change it and do like a 1.0, 1.0 is $10 per point. So if I delete this trade, so if you look at it, guys, I need to move this around.
This is Forex.
Correct.
Okay, I got a lot to learn on this.
Oh yeah, dude. I usually don't just take random trades, but it doesn't really.
How many times would you say a person has to see this before they really master it?
Forex?
Yeah.
5-10 years.
Because I had my international finance class, like I memorized enough to pass the class. I know there was a guy in the front of the class that was like, I could tell he knew what he was doing. The class was a breeze to him. He was probably making boatloads of money.
How to say this? When it comes to Forex is one, obviously, the most manipulated market of all markets.
Mm-hmm.
It's only where the banks play. The banks can see all your entries, all your exits. They know exactly where you're at.
Isn't that how, now if I name drop this guy, I don't know, we could get in trouble name dropping this guy. Isn't that how, well, he's an investor, George Soros. Isn't that how he made a lot of his money? Currencies and stuff?
I don't know much about them, but it's possible. But
He's a really good investor.
If you're in the Forex market,
he's involved in politics too. Look him up if you get a chance.
Yeah, I've heard George Soros in politics, especially the Black Lives Matter group.
Right, but he's like his investment returns are almost perfect.
If they're almost perfect, then that means he's probably in bed with the government.
Yeah. Well,
That's fine.
He's famous for like tanking currencies and stuff.
There are some big tanks, especially what happened to the Russian pairs. I wish I could trade Russian.
He's probably involved in a lot of that. Any famous currency taking you can think of, he was probably involved in.
So basically, even now, I can't trade Russian pairs.
Mm-hmm.
Russian pairs have done so amazing. It has been some of the best trades.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Was that like before the Ukraine or around the Ukraine invasion?
That's during. Like, oh my God, war is probably when it comes to
biggest money making machine, right?
Yeah, this is my investor hat on, not my moral hat on.
Yeah.
When it comes to Forex, follow the trend, especially these big banks.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Look at this. Like,
wow.
I can't even enter the trade. Every country that I have a broker in has banned Russian trading.
Yeah.
Because if they allow me to invest in Russia, I will throw money at it every time I get paid.
Right.
Throw as much as I possibly can into it. It's an easy trade. That's why it's such an easy trade.
It's such a rigged game though, because they let FTX like launder money in Ukraine and stuff. Oh, did I say that? They let that happen, but you know they block what you're talking about.
Here, actually, it is like to go back to the Forex thing. Like here, I'm doing $10 per point. So in 50 points, 60 points, I have a possibility of making $632. You can always change. So for the same move, you can bet 10 times more.
Similar to options, one contract controls 100 shares.
Day trade, and this is why I tell you, day trading and Forex is statistically.
Oh, I see the classic M pattern chart.
You can use patterns. How I trade and how I trade with my EAs. I typically find where would I be entering? My computer I entered right here.
You know what I like, and it doesn't happen. I wouldn't take their advice, but I like if an astrologer type person, like a new age person, predicts markets based on their expertise. That's fun.
Right here, I would have entered right here off this this. So this pattern right here, guys, is a morning. Yeah, this is a morning star right here. Morning star right here, and it's followed by an inverse hammer. That's probably
the inverse hammer. Yep.
Inverse hammer right here. And what will conclude this entry? Do you guys see these three entries right here? How they're kind of flat and the head,
but it keeps on inching up.
This pattern right here is called a white soldier. 3 white soldiers. These 3 right here. 3 white soldiers is a technical analysis pattern that when it happens, you should be buying. You should have either been in the trade prior by this Morningstar and by this inverse hammer.
You know what confuses people the most? When the green candle, so you see the red candle over here, and then the green candle, like it actually closed, it opened, like it went up, but it still closed lower than the previous day, right? That's when you get that, the green candle that is lower than the red one before it. Basically.
I think almost by definition, this right here is an engulfing pattern right here.
A what pattern?
But a bearish engulfing pattern.
Oh,
right
okay.
Here. These two. But my computer would have told me about this before. Like my computer would have said, "Hey, Andre, that this happened, this happened, this happened. You should already be in the trade. If you're not in the trade past this corner, don't get into it."
I've got to learn this. So your table over here to the top left, are these all the basic? Oh, you've got the bid and the ask for, like, is that Australian dollars, Japanese yen?
Yeah, it shows all the currency pairs.
Yeah,
like all the ones I can trade. Like I trade stocks too on here. Like
are they sorted in any order? Oh, I see Apple.
Yeah, I can trade Apple on here. Just right. This is off of my my.
You could sell this for a lot of, like, you could make like full-time income selling this. You probably know that. Yeah. Because there's things like, there's this thing called Vantage Point that's like an AI, and I could probably, if I knew programming, I could probably come up with it. But they charge like $3,000 for, it's like $1,000 per indicator.
So isn't it interesting that their business model is about an Autobot trading, but they charge a monthly service? So is the business in trading, or is it a monthly service? Right.
Yeah. Conflict of interest.
Yeah. So when I tell people about, so I had clients that, hit me up about robots. They said, should I join this company? I said, never, in my opinion, never join a company for robot trading. Create your own robot, or someone or program that robot for you. Never join into a company, because you can't prove if that's a real robot.
Well, like all these people, and you see them on Facebook, I'm sure you get them too, the copy trades people, the ones that they say, oh, join me, like I'm under this person, he's making all this money, I just basically copy his trades, pay him a commission or something.
Those are those network marketing / affiliate marketing.
Because they get people under them. It's like multi-level marketing. Like, they get people under them. Some of them get really pushy, but I just have fun with them. Now, like, I had one guy, I did a video on this last week. He sent me, he sent me his returns. His ROI was a negative 33%. I was like, negative 33, sign me up right now. Where do I sign up?
Oh, here, let me show you something kind of cool. You see this entry right here on pound yen? My computer, so this is one of my demo. I have 7 trading accounts that I trade. My demo account entered in this trade right here. I'm in here in my live account too.
Does it? Can they enter without you looking? Like, can it just enter on its own?
99% of all my trades, the computer enters. I almost like this year, I probably did like 10 trades manually. Everything.
How does this do?
This one's doing really good right here.
Can you make like full-time income just doing this?
If you program it yourself, then yes. Like some of my robots, I don't even show half my robots.
See, you could be with this, like, it's all a marketing. Like, you could be one of the big YouTubers. You just got to phrase it like, quit your job income with these, with these trading bots and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what people are really looking for. Their attention span can't handle the complexities. They got to see, like you said, the girl in the bikini, the car, the bling. But that's like what people are looking for.
Here, I'll show one of my robots. Let me see which one I'll show. I'll show the one that's doing pretty good. This is yeah, all my robots have names. So okay. The trader that I'm currently trading that's been spending since September is called the Specialized Robot. This robot is specialized. It can do everything. Oh my god, I love it.
Nice.
It trades all time frames. It not just trades all time frames. It can trade all time frames. Also, counter trend is trades, manage all news, manage all positions, including manual positions. Awesome.
You gotta get this. So you see, like, so our 2 knowledge areas, like, if you get this in the options field, like, you see what I mean? Like, we kind of start to compare notes and get these working in the other areas. Like, we'll make a lot of money here.
Actually, yeah. Here's a program I just made for one of my new clients. He just got with me last week. He made a moving average. I made a moving average robot for him. Here. I think, Can I legally?
So you probably don't even really need the YouTube like to take off. Like you want it to, but
I want YouTube to take off, not just
Yeah.
for the money. It's just to spread my message about what's happening in this world.
right,
Like,
right. A platform.
If people have not noticed, like I am not afraid to say what I think. I will say
Mhm.
exactly what I think all the time, except that T word I won't
Right.
say on here, or the
Right.
the grape word instead of G.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched a YouTuber talk about this. He said if you say those two words on your platform, YouTube will cut all the views. Just,
Oh,
you won't
shadow
get any
ban.
attention. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought Dr. Fauci was a bad thing to say, but
Mhm.
grape and the T word, and
We've said Fauci's name a bunch. We've already made enough remarks. I actually, the name I just mentioned that happens to start with a G, the first name, that's the one you want to avoid mentioning, I think.
oh, here we go. Actually, let me show. I'll show this robot right here. Here, this one's connected to my live account. Let me turn off this one feature so you do not see. Give me 1 second. Let me turn this off, and it will actually I have to show it because it won't show anything else. Give me 1 second. I gotta make sure you guys understand exactly how a robot works.
So for the record, for the audience, like we've pretty much avoided the YouTube drama, all this stuff.
Oh.
Like this is the real finance. Like this is the meat and
Yeah.
potatoes of finance. No drama, none of that bull crap. This is the real deal.
So this is my robot that I have connected to my live account. It's currently running on this demo account. It's called the Pinpoint Trader. Runs on the 30-minute on the US 30. So the Dow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this
on the Dow 30.
this robot has. So remember, I tell people like it is almost statistically impossible to find a trader that trades Forex that has a greater than 50% win rate over hundreds of trades. So this robot has taken 424. Actually, let me do some actual math.
I was going to say the
424.
keyword is person, not robot, right?
Well, this robot has taken 639 trades, right? I don't even look at it. It does it all 100% automatically. Just I don't even touch it. This thing has taken 639 trades and has made $697, right, on a $2,000 account, and it's been running since April 1st, 2022. Now, when I tell people like I run accounts all the time just to measure if they work or not.
32%. Yeah.
This trading bot basically runs on the 30-minute, and I tell people this trading bot loses so much, but its wins are massive.
The wins exceed the losses.
Mm-hmm. I tell somebody like when I run my robots, I run it for a minimum of 3-to-1 and sometimes 20-to-1 or 10-to-1. So you get charged. Remember I showed you that one chart how it was like this?
Mm-hmm.
That's how real traders trade. I hate when you see someone has like 100 trades and they're all wins. I'm like, nobody wins 100 times in a row.
They're cherry picking the wins.
Mm-hmm. Or they delete the losses.
Yeah.
So what this does is that I have gone through almost every strategy. This strategy on the 30-minute, if you buy at every directional crossover, so if there's a trend and there's a directional buy and you buy or sell at that point, depending on where it breaks, there's a probability over hundreds of trades that you'll be profitable. So for me, I calculated this on here on my indicator that I made, and it goes through every single time it breaks. If you buy or sell, watch, we go through, it shows the history of everything. So look, see, it tells you buy entry, sell entry, buy entry, sell entry. Sales right here, took a loss, took a big buy right here. See, every time it crosses over on the 30-minute, you statistically over hundreds of trades will be profitable.
Wow.
And this goes on for months. Like it just keeps on trading and trading. And see, look at that big win right here. See, big win, small loss.
What would have been cool, the beginning of that chart, like go back to where it got in and got out.
Mm-hmm.
See at the bottom of that, like the perfection would be like the very bottom and then the top of that. Like,
well, it took 2 buys down here. Took 2 buys.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Actually, let me make it bigger. I'm sorry, I'm being just.
Because I've looked at that on option trades. I've said, oh, if I got in like right there, if I got in basically at the bottom, if I could pinpoint the bottom of the market and then ride that first big upswing, it would be massive.
Actually, you see this right here?
Mm-hmm.
My current robot would have got this price. This is called a Morning Star right here.
That's like the bottom, right? The bottom of the market.
Yeah. So each trade. So these are my old ones that I programmed a long time ago. So this one's in April of this year. This took about 2 weeks to program, right? Now you don't see the back code. The back code on this thing is like 3,000 lines of code.
What language is it?
MQL4.
MQL, that's right.
So when it comes to this code, it manages, like it understands, if I put that one word, all the time frames prior to and after. My new robot understands all time frames. Oh my God, it's kicking my ass when it comes to programming. But once it's done, it should be. This thing was doing 60% in a few months.
How long does it take you to program one of these?
So a normal robot takes about 2 to 3 months, and then I run it on the demo account for 30 days to see if there's any bugs. After 30 days, it runs on my small live account, and then after small live account passes, it goes to a live account, my one of my heavier ones.
Is that 3 months of like assuming like a 40 hours a week of effort?
You're talking about 12-hour shifts every day.
Oh, wow. So 96 hours a week.
Yeah. Like,
so it's like a full-time deal for 3 months.
Like when people talk about like making robots, they're not easy to make. There's there's templates that I have. But this programming specialized trader, its template is completely tarnished. Like I destroyed the old template and created a completely fresh new one, and it learns at an incredible rate. Like I tell people, like once you get software that it can understand, now understanding is a little bit different than people understand. I say
machine learning, is that what they call it?
Quant trading. Quant trading. Basically, it's like quant programming. This trade this right here, the optimal entry. So this only does buys, doesn't do sales. Its sister. Each trade, each EA that I make has a brother and sister.
Okay.
Right. This one has a sister that does the opposite of what it does. Its sister only sells, and it sells everything that it does. So its actual entry is over here. See, this is the 4-hour version of it. Its bigger brother. So this thing has taken 66 trades, has made $438 on the same account. So together they made over $1,000 without me doing anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a big effort on the front end, but I bet it pays for itself more than pays for itself over time.
Yes, I'll tell people the less manipulated the pair, the better it does. I would say most of my robots start out on pound yen. Pound yen is the best thing to trade. I tell any forex trader, if you want to trade something, trade pound yen. Do you know how you guys get daily interest?
Daily interest?
So in forex, maybe that's not in call options. In forex,
you can do a spread trade to get like daily. Yeah.
In forex, we get paid daily interest amounts. So if you hold a trade, every single day they'll deposit into your account like a dividend. Instead of monthly, it's daily. And for like the last since 2020 May, I've been getting paid every single day from one trade. This robot I can't wait to be run live. It has like 2 to 3 weeks more.
You know, a lot of these channels you were talking about going on with, like, you're over their head. So
yeah,
you're not going to gain from going on their channel anyway. You know.
Well, I mean, even some of the forex channels, like I told them before, I copy their trading styles. Like,
and it doesn't. That's what you were saying. Because last time I was saying expose the scammers. Like you said, there's no way. Statistically, there's no way they can have the win rates they claim.
Here, Swaggy C. This guy. It's not just him. Almost before we check on the channel, there's 4 things that any channel does. Please be aware. High expensive courses, girls, bikinis, money, jewelry, cars. So they talk about that stuff. And tattoos. They gotta have tattoos. They gotta have the profile. Once they have those things, you will see that these traders are, in my opinion, scam artists. See? Swag Academy. He does amazing on YouTube.
I think you showed him last time. Yeah. Well, what does amazing on YouTube and what does amazing like in practice, they're 2 different things.
This guy claims to make $120,000 in trading. If I told you how much money I made in trading, I would just show my screen, pull up the chart, show the bank transfer. It actually would take about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This guy spends 12 minutes talking about $120,000, and guess what? Not one of it's confirmed. None of it is.
Oh, he's talking about your MT4 and MT5.
Yeah.
Does he actually know? Does he actually know about that, or does he?
He knows about it, but these are photoshopped. Well, now I know it's photoshopped. Look at the thumbnail. The thumbnail is showing a print. Look. Talk. Don't care. Not saying he's not valuable. I have it on mute so we don't get copyright. So
he's adding in.
So
yeah.
When I watch traders like this, so I've been programming long enough to understand what's happening. So I will go through and literally tear apart their entire trading strategy. I can do it to almost anybody and just build that into a program and analyze it over 1,000 trades and find out that all of them, not all, the majority of them don't make money.
So build this strategy. Go back, analyze every time a company reports earnings. Just take like the S&P 500. Every time a company reports quarterly earnings, buying like a call option a week before. That's that's a strategy to analyze.
I can pull HTML data.
It's like a 50-50 strategy, because for me it's worked enough to where I do it. I don't know if I'd call it a defined strategy, but it's very split. Half of the people say it doesn't work, half of them say it does. And you've got people that say, like, it's just like politics. Like, you've got people over here that say it's horrible, it doesn't work at all. And then you've got people that say it's the greatest strategy ever.
Oh, I do have a couple questions.
For me, it's worked more. It's worked for me enough to where I believe in it, and I keep trying. But yeah, go ahead, ask away.
Let's go with this. So I look at stocks probably differently than you do. I just look at I literally just open up the chart and just throw my robot on it.
See, for me, I'm on the same page as you when it comes to like the Fed and all that. And by the way, that's what I call the real woke. Like, there's a real woke and there's a fake woke. The real woke is being awake to all this stuff. So I know all of that too, but I'm playing the game when it comes to stocks, basically, because I know money can be made. The way I look at it, okay, it's a rigged system. You got to play the game to your favor, So that's what I'm doing with stocks.
Oh, I mean, you're doing it in a way that's really cool, though.
Yeah.
Like, you get more clicks than I would.
A little bit more sometimes.
Type in trading robot. How many people are interested in robots?
Right.
Like, actual programming of themselves.
Right.
Like, that's an ugly chart. I hate ugly charts.
But anyway, what were you going to ask about the...
So, when it comes to earning reports, are they scheduled? 100% future casted out?
They can change.
Okay, they can change.
Yeah.
That's fine. But they're reported that people can read when they do come out, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. But it's in the same time frame. Like the play that I just made on Oracle, which is going to have some gain tomorrow. I don't know how much it's going to be.
What's the ticker?
ORCL. So the reason why... Here's what happens to me. So when I fail at something, a lot of times my failures pave the way for my successes in the future. So last year, well, it wasn't a failure because I didn't even do it. Like, I saw earnings came out for Oracle, and they had a huge earnings beat. Call options went up massively, would have had a massive gain. Didn't happen because I missed it. I would have had to have been in basically the Friday before, because the earnings were reported Monday. I would have had to have been in like at the end of the week prior. This time, I remember that happening a year ago, and I remember that it was around December 9th. So I put a note to myself, look at Oracle earnings around December 9th. Sure enough, got in. They have an earnings beat today, and now I'm up, and it's going to open up tomorrow. I know in the after hours, the stock's already up like $3. But see, that wouldn't have stuck in my mind so much if it weren't for that missing the boat a year before. You
want to see something cool?
Yeah.
All right, audience, if you guys are watching this, this is something that I tell every single client. If you want to be an amazing trader, only trade off the weekly. Don't touch the monthly. Don't touch anything else. Only the weekly. Do a moving average, SSL, here, in this indicator here. all it is 2 moving averages. But
the weeklies when it comes to options are better too because there's less time decay.
I mean,
I've done both though. I've done monthlies because I still I can make a good gain regardless. But I agree that the weeklies are probably better.
Here you go. Oh, that's 550. So do the 50-50. Look,
Mm-hmm.
my trading robot. I am telling people right now on this video, I have a weekly trading robot that all it does is just trade the weekly time frame, nothing else. If my robot would 100% bought right here and exited right here, that would be my trade. Hold here, sell here. I would have shorted here and hit my target profit and got knocked out here.
Shorted it there. Okay.
My robot would have shorted right here at this candle, held that trade till this whole, I think right about here, locked in my trade, knocked me out of my trade, and I would have taken about 50% of this move, this short move, in profit.
What about where it is right now?
Right now?
Like the last 2 weeks.
My robot here would have analyzed that this reversal is what? My weekly robot. That's what I like.
It hit support and it bounced back.
Oh, my robot doesn't use support resistance at all.
Okay.
Completely remove that. It would have entered in right here. I would be at
a couple of weeks before I looked at it.
It would be, and the one thing about why I like the weekly robot, I slap it on every single currency pair of stock that I run. It's because I tell you, like, the weekly is so hard not to mess up on.
What's the bottom point here? Was this back in June?
Right here. This would be my robot entry.
Okay.
Now my manual entry
would be there. That's what I'm getting at. Here. Yeah. No, like at the bottom, but that's being perfect.
This perfect
but
entry.
Where your middle arrow. Okay, so draw the arrow there because that's like so the bottom. The arrow you just drew, that's where the retail investors usually look. It's going up. Let me get in. Yeah.
What I like about this entry from my robot, this one right here, if I had to put a letter to it, it'd be here. SSL entry. My robot would 100% got this entry. It's late, but that's what I like about it. Late entries with a pullback that corrects up. So what's possibly going to happen with this entry right here is that this green bar is probably going to succeed this high. Because see how the high is flat?
You mean it's going to exceed the prior high?
Yeah.
Good, because that's what I wanted to do.
Well, you see how it's engulfing this right here? There's a good possibility that it is doing this to do downward pressure. Whoever made this candle had more money than both of us. They created this candle, got in at a low price, push it higher to go back to this high. It possibly will have a high point equal to this high. If it does that, the next candle has to open near this high.
Which it's going to do tomorrow, because you can see, if you look at the after hours, that's another thing I've got to learn. You can trade after hours too. So much to learn. Okay, see this? So this is Oracle. And then after hours, it's up like $2 a share. See? So that's what you're talking about, that candle moving up. Now, I want to talk some further detail on what you said with the red candle. So market movers pushed the stock down so that it could then bounce back, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So the people with the most money trading, and like I said, the market's controlled totally. Like people with the most money in the market movers pushed it down, is what you're saying, which caused that red candle. And then the green candle today, this is what's confusing to me. Okay, so I was watching this since last Friday. It's not just that. There's more to it. There was headlines that came out that drove the market down. You know what I mean? So there's like exogenous events that happen that drive it down to. It's not just like, I get what you're saying, that like there's so much going on at the same time. You know,
there's actually whoever's trading this, whoever controls this market, It's very, very good at repeating this level right here. Oh, wow. So this is why I'm happy, but I would have never looked at this stock.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I'm looking at it, because what you just said, this repeats. Now, let me ask you a question. So would you, if you took this trade and you lost on it, would you just forget about this stock and not ever look at it again? Because that's what most people do.
To be honest with you, when it comes to losing, I just keep trading it.
Yeah,
like
that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, my biggest option win that I just had last month was a company. That's the $70,000 gain that I missed that would have been easily attainable. And this is what frustrates me about myself, because I'm always like, I'm like right here. Like, I'll make 700 instead of making 7,000 or 70,000. Like, I'm like right there, but just can't get that extra zero, you know. But what happens, because I learn from my mistakes, I know that, and this is why I believe in the earnings. I call it the earnings blast scenario, because this repeats. You've got 4 quarters a year. Companies report earnings 4 times a year. This behavior repeats. And here's the thing: even if this stock gets wiped out tomorrow, guess what? Next year, there will be times next year that Oracle beats earnings. There will be times the year after that Oracle beats earnings. And guess what? When they beat earnings, the momentum, the volatility, the implied volatility, all those things are going to come into play and line up for a nice option gain. It's going to happen again in the future. It's like free money. If you know what you're doing and you pay attention, it's like free money. So the title of the video should say free money, and then everyone would watch, right?
I mean, there's actually something this trade is actually something you want to look at. Do you see the 3 arrows I just made at the top right here?
Yeah.
This is 84.51 high. The next high is 84.52. And this high is 84.53. All 1 cent difference.
So that's the resistance level.
Not just that. This price was chosen. This chosen price is going to be duplicated some other time.
Chosen.
Yeah, prices are there. There is no accidents in the markets. So,
well, I know that, but see, I'm waiting for it to get back to like $110 a share.
Well,
that may sound dumb, but it was at 110 a share last year.
I need to bring this on my computer.
So was 110 chosen a year ago? See, that's what confuses me, because it's like it dropped. But it was at. You see, it was here.
Damn it! I hate this whole crap right here. I hate when it keeps just like shit. Give me a second. So when you see, for me, my computer program would have brought this up immediately as a red flag and said, there is 3 highs that have the exact same price minus 1 penny. Look, just 1 penny.
It's not, so it would very unlikely to break past it.
The possibility of it hitting this is very high, but my program would have locked in the trade right after this red candle.
Right, but the thing is, though, like I get that, but eventually it's going to break past that. Look where it was a year ago.
It could,
you know what I mean?
I definitely agree with that. I think it's going to break past it.
Yeah.
But that 1 price point is going to hit again. I guarantee you the next time it hits that area is going to be 84.4, 84.2, 84.1 as a high.
So I'll sell it tomorrow then. That's because here's what I do now. What I would do a year ago versus what I do now is different. A year ago, I would hold and I would ride it up like a roller coaster. Like I would ride it up to the top. Now, because the market's so volatile, if it has a good earnings, I sell it when it gets that initial pop from the earnings. I sell it that morning. So tomorrow by 10 a.m., this will be gone. Because it's probably going to hit that 84, just like you're saying, and then it's going to bounce right back down.
I wish I had the stock on my trader.
Add it. Do you have an iPhone? Like, add it to your stock app.
My broker does not. My broker is not the same as everyone else's.
Right, but
only trade
broker doesn't matter though. Just you can add it to the stock app.
No. I mean on MetaTrader. For my broker, you can't add every single thing on here.
Okay.
If I could, I would definitely add it on here because I want to see what my program would say. Because my program said for my robot for the weekly would enter here, but my trader would have been right here, this bar right here.
Okay.
But I would assume both would tell me that Andre. Literally, I get a message from. I type in my messages, say Andre, look at this. And I get a text message from my phone. My phone and my computer are connected. and they talk to each other. And oh my god, it would tell me, yeah, lock in the trade. Lock in the trade. Start it. The target. Whoa, no. My target profit would be here. $93.
Target profit 93 on one share or on one contract or what?
So if I had to buy one share, it would be I would exit my trade. Let's say I had 100 shares. I would exit 50% of my shares, so 50 shares at $93 flat.
So you can't do that with options, though. It's either you control 100 shares, but you can't sell. Believe it or not, they're working on it. They're trying to do like half a contract. But you can only, one contract controls 100 shares, so it's all or nothing, basically. Unless you got 10 contracts, then you control 1,000 shares. Then you could sell 1, you could sell 2, 5, until you sell them all.
So my entry would be here, and I would exit here. And my stop loss would be here. 72.
You set the stop loss?
My computer automatically does it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's great.
Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I just made this for a client a few days ago. This one right here. It's called the EMA Trader. Oh, I named it EMA. That's what it does. But it controls your risk. And like when I trade something here, I'll just show it.
Is EMA exponential moving average?
Give me a second. I can't show you the settings, but I will show you the results. Give me a second. It doesn't work. This just chart's closed. Let's use pound dollar. Okay. That's one of my robot entries. Let's do something that's not. So I don't have any robots on euro dollar right now.
No, okay.
So look, but prior to this thing engaging, see this chart right here? This is something I made. This is an information box. It tells you that your risk reward is either you buy or sell, you get a 1-to-1. So prior to taking a trade, the individual who buys this program from me, I let them know that if you take one trade, you'll gain 1x of it. But give me a second. What the fuck is where's F7 at? F7. So here, let me change it up for you, okay? So for me, it would be a target profit of say 300 and 300. Let's say 350. There. So see how it goes 6-to-1? All my programming would be set to 6-to-1 and 7-to-1.
Okay.
This is why. So if I'm trading this trade, trading Oracle, my computers would be entering. There would be like 10 different buys in this area, all through this leg, a whole bunch of buys. Yeah, I would say, in my opinion, this is my opinion, guys. My weekly trader is late to the party. It's very, very late. This should have been in right here. This three bar pattern should have entered right here. That's what's telling you. The weekly to me is the best indicator of a trend. Think about it. Hypothetically speaking, guys, anytime you get 3 green bars on the weekly, typically the 4th one will be a green bar. Look, 1, 2, 3, boom. Entering that trade. Hold that. Look, 1, 2. This is stuff I can't. This is stuff I talk about, and then they're like, "Really? Yeah, the weekly is all you need. You don't need anything else."
Yeah.
I mean, if you told me about this, I wish I met you earlier, and then you had told me about this stock, I would have went added funds to my Robinhood account and just bought this stock, like down here.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know what's funny? I don't know if I should tell you this, but I owned the stock and I sold it in February 2021 because I think I doubled my money from where I bought it. I held the stock from like 2014. I held it for like 6 years because what I was doing before I understood all this, options trading and all these more advanced strategies, I was just buying and holding stocks, but I wasn't getting rich doing that. Like I had some big wins like Cisco stock, Starbucks, Apple, things like that, but I wasn't getting rich doing it. And so when I sold it, and then it kept running up from last February to December, it ran up so far. That's the thing. Every stock, it's like a J curve. Every stock, you look from like beginning to end, it's like this J curve. Just buy every stock. time travel back to like 03, 04, 05,
Yeah.
buy every single stock, you're wealthy, you know?
I would say oh my God, like I didn't start trading until 2007.
Now, this spike you see here from 99 to 01, that's the dot-com bubble. Because this was originally part of that. This was one of those companies. You know, there are a lot of successful companies that came out of the dot-com bubble. Oracle, Amazon, NVIDIA, you know, to name a few.
But they all, oh my God. Some stocks I wish I actually bought.
Mm-hmm.
But like the dividend stocks that I just bought, like here, I should be like the ones I just exited earlier this year. I should have stayed in longer, but I have to get out of American stocks.
Right. Yeah,
CCJ.
you were saying like how corrupt it is here and stuff.
No, this is a company this company I bought because I bought down here at $10. Like I said, this is part of my robot. My robot's trading this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Where? Boom, right off the beginning.
CCJ.
Yeah, CCJ is a uranium company. I was telling about that earlier in the podcast.
Oh yeah, yeah. I tried to look up some uranium companies while you were saying that.
I have a program that it's called my Master Trader.
Oh, you can get a better yield than this. It's like 0.4%. If you're looking for yield. No, I'm just looking from the Apple stock CCJ. It's at 0.4% yield.
This right here, this weekly. I tell you this: if you want a very good long-term buy, I can't tell you what to do with your money. Buy ETFs in uranium. Anything uranium.
Really?
Oh my God, it is going to explode. I bought this company in a different currency though.
Oh,
I just think like buying
does that
in dollars.
help if you buy in a different currency? Does that accelerate the gain?
You want to see? Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
Oh
It's just
my God.
there's so many levels to this. Like if you really want to make money, like there's so many levels to this.
We're gonna look at Korean stocks. So when it comes to when it comes to international stocks, where you want to be is, in my opinion, international because the dollar's strong. If you buy Korean stocks right now, you'll get about 30% more money buying power than you would with dollars. How do I know? Let's check it out.
While you're doing that, I was going to say something about.
Right here.
Okay. Oh.
So 100. Oh, what?
You know what the highest dividend yield I've ever seen?
Well, like 100%?
100, better than that. 150%.
Was it real?
Yes. I just did a video on it. It's called Zim shipping. Now, what happened, it's a function of the stock dropping so much. So the stock's trading at $18. It's basically paid $30 in dividends, which is like 150% return. When I saw that, I said, how in the heck is that sustainable? But it was at $80. It's an Israeli shipping company. And so it's dropped, and they just paid the dividend. They take like 25% tax out of the dividend, which the dividend haters, they'll love that. That's perfect fodder for them because, tax, dividends, tax, But this company, they keep paying the dividend, and they're beating earnings too, which is phenomenal,
Interesting.
And to make it even weirder, I saw a truck for Zim shipping this morning. And it's so crazy because I had never heard of this company. All of a sudden, I look them up. I start talking about it. I see a truck that says Zim shipping this morning. It's nuts. Yeah.
Let me look at this up. Oh, it's part of the New York Stock Exchange. Can I trade it?
Oh, I don't know. It's an Israeli company.
Is it ZM?
Yeah, ZIM.
Oh, man, I need another broker.
Just have multiple. I use multiple brokers. I use like TD Ameritrade. I use E-Trade. I have a Robin. I think I have an account with each one.
So all of those people that you named, they all have to be programmable languages in MQL4 or MQL5. I don't know. I mean, I'm good at programming, but I hate relearning languages. God.
Oh yeah.
Like I have. If you see my library over here, I have textbooks in programming languages. That if I'm trying to learn a new language, I will spend like 6 months of just doing this, just reading the code.
Wow. So it takes you about 6 months to learn a new programming language?
6 months fluently. Well, I don't have to look up something.
I wanted to do when I went into like finance and IT. This is what I wanted to get into. Like I wanted to learn the technical end of finance. This is what I wanted to do. I've never quite found the time to actually do this, until
There's
now,
one,
I guess.
give me 1 second. There's one
Yeah.
book if you want to read.
Okay. Yeah.
So, this book is for MetaTrader 4. It's easy book.
So MT4 is MetaTrader 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like programming MetaTrader 4, like this book, I mean, I crushed it in like, when it came out, I crushed it like in 2 months. And
Okay.
but what I mean by crushing it, I mean, I can verbatim talk about flip to a page, I can just talk about it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so that's why I tell people, like, I don't read many books. I read the same book a lot of times. Like
That's
Mike
smart.
Maloney, Mike Maloney, Gold and Silver? I read over 100 times.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Wow.
I don't think I've read 100 books total. Like, that's good, but 100 times.
Peter Schiff's videos.
Yeah.
Like, that's why when it comes to economics, like I start memorizing everything until you guys show me new stuff. Like all this option stuff, it's like a new world for me.
Yeah, it is. It's like a new language. It really is, because there's stuff like I thought I knew a piece of it, and I'm like, all right, I know enough to be dangerous, and then I started losing my ass, and then I started learning spread strategies, and then the spread strategies just still don't make sense to me.
There's one person that I wish I can work with, or I'm going to work for, is Michael Burry, because that guy, how does he find this stuff?
Well, he's got like an autistic level of smartness, like acumen. Like he's like on a different level, I think.
He got something, because you can't make up the trades that he have done. You can't make it up. It is intentional, and his entries are so precise. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's true though. Like like a monkey can throw darts at a dartboard and hit half the time. Like you can look at these. Like I find patterns in how these earnings plays. Like I say, okay, the same behavior. I see this. You look at 5 years of data. The same behavior happens here. It repeats.
Let's look at a company. Let's look at Microsoft.
Oh, Microsoft. Yeah, they just paid a dividend today.
Give me a second. Here, I can trade Microsoft. Give me a second.
Oh, that's good.
Here, give me a second. That's why I bring it up right here.
Yeah.
I can put my robot on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, where's SSL?
Oh, we've been going a while here.
Oh, we have?
Oh yeah, I know. Time flies, right? Yeah, it's after midnight on the East Coast.
Oh, for me, dude. If you literally anytime you call me or text me, I'm usually looking at a chart.
Oh, okay. So we can just hop on a live stream then.
Yeah. I mean, today after I was supposed to shoot a video based off 3 programming videos, 2 cryptocurrency videos, and I'm going to talk about Brittany Griner.
Oh yeah, Biden, and they got her out of Russia instead of the Marine. Yeah. The Brittany Griner one will probably get you the most views.
I hope it does, because I'm going to be extremely critical of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her, like, I don't understand why I didn't get the Marine.
I don't even know why they got her out.
She was only going to send a couple of years.
Yeah, I honestly, I wanted to send more people.
I mean, to
be
honest with you, I just don't understand. I mean, I understand why they have to adjust to the LGBTQ local community. They have to pander. I understand that, but there has to be a tipping point where people have to say that this is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give up a terrorist for a basketball player.
Right.
He's just going to go back to what he was doing. Business as usual.
I had someone on Facebook that they wrote a script for me for a video. They want me to pay them for it, but it's absolute crap.
You have a script?
They think they're smart. They blocked me from reading it. Well, guess what? I can still see the image and take a picture of it. These people crack me up. And then the guy, I've told him 3 times, I said, this is crap. I can't read this. It's about dividends. I was gonna do a video where I just read it live on the channel anyway and said, what do you guys think? Should I pay somebody for this?
It's funny. I got hit up by a scammer 2 days ago.
Yeah.
He was trying actually, here, I'll show you. He was selling me option trading. Actually, I should tell you.
Is his name Peter something?
Yeah, let me bring it up. I'm on Facebook right now.
That guy, I don't want to give the guy's name out, but that guy, it's comically. I've done two videos on him. Yeah, they'll end up blocking you once you know they're onto them. But this guy, he hasn't blocked me. I guess he thinks that I'm dumb enough or something. Like he keeps trying, but all his trades are wrong.
His name is Mark Derrick. Here, I'll actually show you the whole thing.
I don't know who that is. We're gonna dox a scammer.
Oh, I mean, I love showing messages like this. Give me a second.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I'm gonna read the part of this dividend script. The guy keeps saying, "Oh, are you gonna what are we gonna do with this?" It was absolute crap. There's no way I could use it. It says a script. What?
I have never done a script before.
Oh, you can pay people to do them. Like if you look at the videos that I've done, the thing that makes me mad because I know this stuff, like. They write me a script, and I find obvious errors in the script, So this dividend script, it's what are dividends? Best dividends to invest in 2022. There are countless ways to get into the investing world, but not all are as safe as they may sound. To make money in the world of investments, you have to play smart, stay on top of your game, and most importantly, always be up to date on whatever is going on with the type of investment you're in, so you do not make a blunder. Okay, that's like Graham Stephan level, basically. Mm-hmm. Stay with us today as we look at what dividends are and the best dividends you can invest in to make a profit. You do not want to miss this one. Let's start by asking the basics. What are dividends? According to simplest definition, a dividend is a distribution or sharing of a company's profits with its shareholders. Each company's board of directors determines the amount and who receives it. Thus, the dividend you receive will vary in practically every firm. See, the first two paragraphs are okay, but it's like you're explaining it to a 5-year-old,
Got it.
This is the one, the one that turned me off. It's like there are two ways to profit from dividends. The first is the most straightforward. It involves receiving payment in cash for the premium you have with the company. Like, no one takes their... Oh, you actually pulled it up. No one takes their dividend payment in cash, Oh, there's two of the... I see two of the scammers right there. I see Mr. YouTube. Well, there's me at the top, but you got Mr. YouTube. I won't name his name, and then his sidekick there.
Yeah, they always hit me up. It's actually, if you read her right here, she's actually like, do you want to be part of the email thing? I'm like, nah, I'm good on that.
They added me to their group.
Yeah, they're not bad people. Just they're selling something that they shouldn't, in my opinion. But like this guy here, here's the dude selling me something. Mm-hmm. Blah 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 blah. Here it is. Sorry for approaching you on your profile, seeing you're ambitious, you have a large network. Blah blah blah. However, I'm an expert in binary trading. 7 years. I don't care. The problem with this whole spill is that he said something that I needed verification on. He said you can invest minimum with 3,000 R and get 33,000 in just 7 days of trading. I was like, are you telling the truth?
See, I don't even ask stuff like that. I just kind of play along. Like I know what he's already said 3 things that would already, like once he said binary Bitcoin or something, I already think he's a scammer.
I mean, maybe he's not. I was playing along to a point. I was asking him, hey, you can get 10 times your payout in 7 days. Yeah. Have you done this personally? Yes. Mm-hmm. How many times? Right? I would love to know. Maybe he's doing something I don't know. So I keep on asking him, bro, show me some evidence of you making 10 times your money. And he shows me his account. Is it
a losing trade? Let me see if I can find some errors here. Total assets available. If they're invested, why are they available? Hang on. If you know what I mean? If they're invested, why are they available? Right? What? Deposit. So did he just deposit money? Is that he just deposited money into the account?
All of these things, like he's showing me all these screenshots of 50K of Bitcoin withdrawal. I was like, you have 50,000 of Bitcoin. Okay, cool. Just show me the trade. Look, it's not showing me. Just show me the trade where you went from 3,000 to 33,000. That's all I want to know.
Right.
This guy, more screenshots. Cash. I was like, Cash App. I'm like, cool.
Cash balance. Yeah.
You see the trades? I'm like, this is like watching
And he's at like a vacation destination.
What's it called? It's like looking at a Swaggy C or Forex guru trading.
He's playing off of low IQ people. Like there's this guy, he's on a vacation spot trading.
Yeah, he blocked me. He had the audacity to block me. I was interested.
I've been blocked by so many people. It's funny because some of them, they do it to get attention. Like I had one lady, she would message me and then she would block me. And then she was like, oh, you don't value our friendship. I'm like, I don't even know you. What do you do? Friendship? She's like, oh, you don't value me, And then I started like, I blocked her. What she would do, she would send one message and then she would block me. And then she'd unblock me and then get her message to the top. And then I would respond. Then I would block her. I would do the same thing. I had fun with it.
Oh, no. God damn it. I closed my trader. Oh. So when you run EAs, you can't close the trader at all. It runs 24 hours long.
Oh, okay. You have to start it over.
Yeah. Damn it. No, it's fine. I mean, those are all. I have so many accounts running. It gets confusing.
Look at what this guy sent. So I asked him. It was a similar thing, and I said, "What's your proof? What's your proof of how well you're doing?" And then in the middle of the screen, his realized profit and loss, negative 33.99. See that in the middle?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's painful.
Yeah. So I asked him about that. I said, that's kind of concerning. You had a negative. That's what I said in the chat. I said, I see a negative P&L of negative 33.9%. And then the English got like improper. He said like, oh shit, I don't want to make it like I'm giving an emoji. He said every trader do incur with an E at the end losses, but the difference between your win-loss ratio determines how good and technical you're. So the English isn't even. And then the screenshots here, you can see an obvious like formatting. The first picture, you see how the format has got like gray and white. And this is supposed to be page 2 of the same screen, but it doesn't have that. It doesn't have the gray and white. You see what I mean? So it's supposed to be page 2 of the same statement. Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to these obvious scammers, I wish people would just, one, look at those details, but I guarantee you somebody probably bought into that.
Oh, of course. It's a numbers game. It's like cold calling. Like if it's a 10% conversion ratio, of course. Like, and some of them, they get really pushy. They're kind of fake friendly at first, then they get really pushy.
Actually, let me show you. I got another scammer on here.
There's one every day.
He's the guy who's trying to sell me his robots, network marketing trading robots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a new scammer every day.
Yeah. Here we go. This guy right here. His name is Uch Anyan. Yeah, here. Mm-hmm. So this is right here. So you see this? What is that? So he showed that this is a trade right here. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I was like, oh, that's super cool. I was like, I can create that exact same thing that you did. He's like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, this is not a P&L, guys. If someone shows you this is just a trading performance. Show the actual trade history, so I can go through and see if it's either a demo or live. When you go through this thing, this guy's saying that this robot has made him like huge amount of money. He's put in $100,000, and now his equity is up to $704,000 from a trading robot. I was like, okay, he doesn't know I played. No one knows. When a scammer hits you up, they don't look you up. Mm-hmm. This guy, he's obviously scamming me, but he didn't look up his own information to see who he's selling to. So when I'm going through the data, I'm like, bro, your stuff is fake. Mm-hmm. I can produce the same thing. Like literally. Oh, here, let me make it bigger for you. So that's his trading chart. Insane. So he deposited $100,000 and he's gross
211%. But he's lost. Oh, he just made this up because he's got this number over here's the difference between this number and this number. I could already tell that off the bat. So he's got. I'm more likely to believe the loss than the gain. But he just made up numbers. Yeah.
When I went through this, I told him, like, bro, these are amazing numbers. Can you please show me the
Yeah, but you see, if you add the 70,000 to the 141,000, you get this 211, basically.
What I told him is this: I programmed MetaTrader 4. He's like, you do? He's like, yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And you should see the thing right here. What ends up happening is that this data he's missing 2 columns of data here.
Yeah.
This right here.
Oh, it's right. It adds up. It adds up exactly. The 211, 717. So if you net profit. So what the hell does that mean then? Net profit 70,000, gross loss, gross profit. He's subtracting the loss from.
His total net profit is $70,483, and it's amazing. But when I went through and started adding his stuff, I'm like, see this right here? Every tick, the most precise method on available these time frames generated to each tick, 99.990. You see the statement right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's only for demo accounts.
Yeah.
Watch. Look what happens when I ask him that. So when I tell people this, I can generate the same chart, exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh my God.
And then block.
No, he didn't block me. He talks to me sometimes. He watches my live streams.
Mm-hmm. See, that's where this started. I went on getting on all these groups and stuff because I wasn't even using Facebook. Like my profile on there, I don't even really use it. But I joined all these groups, and that's how all these scammers, they're all lurking in these groups.
Oh, yeah. And so they make a group, and then you need to pay $10.
Yeah, a lot of YouTubers do that too. They have like their private Patreon or their private Discord.
Should I get a Patreon?
I'm gonna work on that too. When I have more time, I'm gonna develop all these things out.
How do I go back to this message? Do you have social media? What the fuck is that?
Do you have social media? You're on social media.
Yeah, that's such a weird question. The fuck did he go? Here he is. There we go. Yeah, this guy's his program.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's his company. Very nice. Here's the company here. Watch the YouTube video. Hey, is this an MLM company? Any network marketing company that has Forex trading you want to be aware of.
Yeah. Oh, did you talk to him?
Oh yeah, I take every single person as serious as they are selling me.
I live streamed one time. I live streamed talking to a scammer. But I made it private because this was before I understood StreamYard, how it worked. I was live streaming and I made it like I had 2 views and I had 2 likes on the video, but it was someone calling to buy my house and it was comical. He was like, oh yeah, we see your house is worth this. And it was like half what the house is actually worth. And he gave like the wrong address and stuff. And I was like, buddy, if you're gonna try this, like you need to come to the table more prepared. It was hilarious.
This network marketing scam, isn't it? Oh my God! Essentially, maybe a good video.
Yeah, I gotta sign off soon.
Oh yeah, anytime.
It's late over here. Yeah. Yeah, show this and then yeah.
Scam. Does anyone else talk about this? Maybe it's just too new.
It's in Italian.
Very prime. Yeah, this is the trading robot, guys. I would say if you ever made it to the end of this video, I would say the best thing you guys can do is just do your own due diligence. And
I will name a couple of big YouTube scammers. There's this guy Robert Benjamin. I actually paid for his course like $100 because he was supposed to be a YouTube growth guru. I had to. His website has no way to like even contact them. They don't get back to you. I had to dispute the transaction with my bank to get the money back. And then this Ryan Hildreth, he talks about this YouTube automation and stuff like that. He's a proven scammer. Scott Schaefer's done videos on him. So those are 2 big scammers right there. Robert Benjamin, it's Ryan Hildreth guy. Yeah, they're scammers. And what it is, a lot of these sales things, they take good looking people and they put them in the front, and that way, like you trust them, like they take people like with a face that you trust, and that's what sales gigs do,
Yeah, I don't think. Then they need someone who can read a script really good.
Oh yeah, somebody that has like that ability. They have the personality. They have that. They can read really well. They're an actor, basically.
Yeah, for me, it's so difficult for me to play a script. Like even when you're saying like read a script, if you ever watch me edit my videos, like usually, like when I'm trading, you see me like this. I would not buy this. This is some shitty shit. And then actually, I say the exact same thing. But this is why
you can tell the one good thing about a script, there's no ums, there's no pauses.
Yeah.
It just flows. But I'd rather do it this way.
Yes. So actually, this is so much easier than editing.
Oh, for sure. And then I'm just pulling up, like during the live stream, just pull up what you're talking about. It's really easy. But anyway, I'm going to have to sign off. Good live stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Yeah. All right.
How do I do this?
So that concludes it. Until next time. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Take care.
Next time.
Yep.
I'll see you on the flip side.
All right. Bye.
How do I?